Clapping. Yeah.
Thank you. This was a big moment for me. I found 5 gold. Now I'm going to go add that to my inventory.
Anais is worried about the unclean dildos that Murder Brian has on him.
Well, don't worry about it. I carry them with me.
No.
Just a knapsack full of them? Or?
A knapsack full of dildos and 67 gold coins. I'm fucking doing great. I have some inventory.
But she's ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Wait till I offer somebody a dildo a little later on.
See,
I mean, if you can make it work.
That's the plan. All right, let's roll. Let's roll out.
So as you head over to the business district of Rapid City, are you taking a car? Are you busing? What's the plan?
I mean, I personally would walk, get my steps in. But we could take a bus.
How much is the bus ride?
Like 2 copper.
Oh, that doesn't bother me at all. I got most of the money. So yeah, we can go do it. I'll pay for myself.
How generous.
Hey,
Isn't he?
no problem.
My cousin's supposed to be rich and we're taking the bus.
I am rich. I don't want you to. I don't have a car with me right now.
Oh, that's right.
And I also wouldn't let you guys in my car because you all smell.
But dirty dildo box.
No, it's got perfume on it.
So yeah, Brian, how are you carrying these dildos?
Yeah, you have to. What's the weight for that? And
It's under my arms.
We don't do encumbrance. It's like video game rules here. You can just like shove things
Can I
wherever.
stand up?
But like,
You want me to stand like this in a box under my arm?
Keep them in your butt.
Yeah. Well, I got one. I got one hanging out. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with the box of dildos. I'm going to take one. I'm going to hang it out of my mouth like a cigar, and I'll put the box on the ground.
So you're just walk holding one.
Just one
Smoking
in my mouth
one.
like a cigar.
as the bus rolls up, stop. The doors open. The bus driver looks at you and he just goes to close the doors.
Oh
again.
shit, Brian, you ruined it.
Okay. I'm gonna shove the dildo in the door so it won't close.
Make a dexterity check.
A dexterity check. Got it.
Yeah.
I got a 12.
Okay.
All right. You wedge that dildo right between those doors and the bus driver says, "Hey man, you can't be doing that here. I don't get paid enough to deal with this whatever you're."
Sir,
smell. I can smell them from here, man.
We'll make sure that we'll keep him in his pocket. He won't smoke it anymore.
I won't smoke the dildo. You know what? To tell you the truth, and I don't like the litter, I'll throw the dildo on the ground. Just let me on the bus. Okay?
Thank you for being reasonable.
Yeah, we're going to be reasonable now.
That's actually, yeah, we should have, yes.
Okay. All right. Fine. Again, I don't get paid enough for this, so yeah, just throw the dildo on the ground.
Quick question, Katie. Has anybody ever used a dildo to that quite that useful effect in Dungeons and Dragons before?
I mean, I'm sure somebody's used a dildo at some point in Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, but that was a brilliant. Like, I'm on the bus now. As we're on the bus, I'm like, wasn't it brilliant what I did with that dildo? You know, and everybody, and then I'm gonna speak for everybody else, and they're like, "Yeah, you're smart, dude. You're like the smartest."
Seats away.
Yeah, you're like, well, yeah, and then you're like, you're the smartest guy in this crew. That's like basically for the people watching. Basically, for the bus ride, Brett or Ace Cannon, Anais, and Yakub tell me how smart I am and strong I am.
No, we don't.
And then we'll get to where we're going.
Speak for yourself.
They can decide that for themselves.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
You aren't in charge of the game.
Murder Brian's head has just gone to a different place in which you are all telling him how cool and smart he is. And he's just like doing that thing where you stare out the window of the bus and you're not even really watching stuff go by. You're just like kind of blankly staring.
Also strong, also heavy strength. Like they're like, God, you are muscular, you know? So, okay, now I'm ready. I'm ready to move on. I'm just thinking about how muscular I am. How many times have you gone into work and then looked at your boss and said, what are they doing? You ever think about the levels at a job, Brett? Of course, the people on the very bottom. What do?
Usually clean.
Yeah, and then there is the people just above them. They're the ones that do the second hardest job at the place, right?
Deal with customers?
Yeah, that sort of thing. And then there's another level above that, and that's the manager that's in the place. Now let's think about what comes after that, right? You might have a guy named like Glenn that comes to your office every 6 months, and you have to lay out the red carpet for Glenn. Think about what the person above Glenn does. Jerry is the person above Glenn, right?
Okay.
His job is basically going to lunch, right?
Yeah, powerful meetings, shaking hands real hard.
We're gonna go up to the CEO now. The people that sit around a table and who knows what they're doing? Nobody knows what they talk about.
Playing cards.
What connection does that person have to what you do and what the customer gets? It just seems like you could really chop like 5 or 6 levels off of any job and the company would still run perfectly.
Think about your job. Now imagine your manager isn't there. How much smoother would your day run?
I mean, how many of you work a job where you don't even know who the fucking CEO is of the company? That means they're absolutely useless. They're parasites.
They're on the top, getting most of the money, sending their kids to private school, driving the fanciest cars, and they can't make a sandwich. Every new level of hierarchy is more money coming out of your paycheck. Unions are fucking great because it's not HR.
You need solidarity with the other workers. We need to use that and exercise that. You and your other workers are the most important people at that company. I mean, hell, the way I think about it, maybe you don't get a union at all and you just take the whole company away from the bosses, and that's called a co-op.
For the almighty dollar, everyone's a slave. Cause what's the point of doing shit if you ain't getting paid?
I mean, I tell you what, even the jobs that paid me nothing, like when I was first learning them, it was like, all right, I can do this. You just need somebody to get the plates and make them go from here to here. I can be the master of that. I was really into that, and I can do that. But after a while, it's like, you guys treat me like shit, and I get the plates from here to here every fucking time, and you talk down to me and shit. What's going on?
Jesus,
you're counting my lunches. Like, you're looking at what I'm eating. You're like figuring out when I'm going out to smoke. Like, all of a sudden, you're in my shit. But all you said you wanted from me was the plates to go from here to here, and I'm getting the plates from here to here.
God, that was the most accurate representation of how I feel when I get a job. At first, I'm helpless. I'm a little baby. I'm sucking off the teat of the manager to tell me what I need to do. You know, I don't want to, my wings aren't fully formed yet. And then once I learn what I'm doing, I'm like, you know, y'all could treat me a lot better for this. I deserve a lot more for this.
Wow, this is some bullshit right here. Now that you kicked me out of the nest and I'm flying through the sky and trying to flap my wings here, I don't think you're giving me enough.
I don't like this.
You
at
didn't
all.
set me up right.
You know, you probably hear people constantly talking about this horrible thing called capitalism.
I have.
Yeah, you've heard that?
Yes.
You're like, what? How does capitalism affect me? I will tell you, it runs your entire fucking life. You've probably heard of socialism or communism. Communism. And they say they try to control your entire life. Your whole day is taken away from you. What control do you have over your day now?
Most people have to be chained to a desk for 40 hours a week and they're not allowed to leave.
When you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit and you have to wipe the sleep from your eyes and like look around and be like, why does this have to happen this early in the morning? That's a capitalism.
And it controls everything, like your healthcare, your education. It all comes down to making money, but some things just don't make money. Honestly, ask yourself, how afraid are you of getting an injury and how that could possibly fuck up your life?
Yeah. You're being stopped from skateboarding, breakdancing, doing anything fun, because if you get injured, you're fucked forever. You can't go to work.
And so then you have all these people that say, well, we can make a kinder capitalism, a more conscious capitalism. It isn't gonna fucking happen. We need anarchy, we need socialism, we need communism, we need anything but more capitalism.
But wait, Brett. When you go to the grocery store, you have almost unlimited choice. You can buy 100 different types of cereals.
All made from the same stuff with different graphics on the outside.
All corn. It's basically just a bunch of boxes of corn.
That's capitalism.
It actually treats about 1% of the population like humans, and the rest of us like tools for those superhumans. You don't have any money, your bank account's low? I know where the money is. Jeff Bezos has it, the Waltons have it.
And they took it from us, right?
They took it from us.
We're just getting our money back.
Yeah, your work.
Everybody, welcome to Street Fight Radio. Hope you're having a good night. It's time for a street fight, and we're taking your calls. That number to dial is 614-655-3887. We want to hear from you all the way until midnight. Let us know what's going on in your life. Dare officers, bad bosses, weird work situations, activism, causes, whatever it may be. This is the place to be on Sunday nights. Listen to the Street Fight call-in show. My name is Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quinby. We're the #1 anarcho-comedy radio show on any station across the nation. We've been doing this for 10 years now, spreading this mess across the U.S. Here in Columbus on WCRS, local community radio. Tune in to them to hear Street Fight in your area if it's Columbus, Ohio, inside 270. You can also find us on patreon.com/Street Fight Radio if you want to support the show, if you like what we do, if you like that we don't have ads and we don't tell you to buy stupid products, well, support the show. Patreon.com/Street Fight Radio. A monthly subscription gets you access to premium audio, video, and visual content like you've never seen before. A whole goddamn library of it. If you haven't done it, today's the day. Street Fight Radio on Patreon. And if you want t-shirts, stickers, pins, and more, store.streetfightradio.com has everything your heart desires. So support the show in those many ways. The CM Ruiz shirts are ordered. They got to go to the art people. That usually takes a few days. Hope to have them here by May. And then I'll keep you all updated as we go along this process. Thank you for being here once again. How's it going, Brian?
I'm going crazy, but I feel okay. You know.
That's good.
But I'm twitchy. I'm having a twitchy couple days here. I think I forgot to take some medicine. So I'm dealing with what they call, I believe, brain zaps.
Okay.
Which is great. Great. It's good that I'm on medicine that can, if I miss it, I have to get brain zaps.
Yeah, that worries me. That's why I stay away from some of the harder stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want those withdrawals.
Yeah, it's something I thought it was as needed, but I guess I gotta take it. So,
or maybe you as needed too much.
Yeah, it's possible, but they told me that it would be okay to as need it too much.
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
They said like this stuff isn't that big of a fucking deal, is what I was told. So I'm just twitchy. I don't know what's going on. Makes me feel miserable, but I'm also like not having anxiety attacks, so it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. I guess I'll twitch for a couple days.
Misery instead of anxiety.
Yeah. I just can't sleep.
You gotta change things up.
Yeah, I just can't sleep. That's all it is. As soon as I start to fall asleep, it's like
Hey, your arm wants to move, your leg wants to move, and it's like, motherfucker, man.
I've been sleeping like a baby.
Oh.
This week has been so fucking like emotionally exhaustive. Like I don't even understand it. Like I don't even feel it happening. And on Friday night, I drank 1 beer and then I fell asleep. And I've taken naps like every single day in the middle of the afternoon. Charlotte has to wake me up and say, "Hey, I'm hungry. I want something to eat." Because I've just been like off to dreamland quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed before midnight, which I have not done for a very long time.
Yeah, I did that last night. I felt like a real fucking loser when I did it, you know?
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't mind it. You know, I prefer it than to like not being able to go to bed, I would say.
Yes. I will say I can agree with that. Yeah. I just was like, it was like 11:30 and I was like, I'm fucking tired. You know, I walked like 25 miles yesterday in the rain like an idiot.
Yeah.
So I wore myself out.
I'm having a real prolific time. I'm like on an upswing. This is my first week to myself. I have an apartment full of crap. It feels like, it's just weird because it feels like this house is still in order, but like all of my shit just got like gathered up and like thrown into another fucking room. So now I have like this whole room full of stuff I have to deal with. But I was shopping earlier this week and I went to Marshall's and I saw this citrus juicer and I saw this teapot. I have no money for those things. I'm trying to get the basics. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to save up. This is a goal of mine. I want to get these things. And on Saturday, Worthington did this thing called Pre-Cycle, where basically everybody just takes all their trash and lays it out in front of the house and you can go grab it for free. And I shit you not, I found the Cuisinart citrus juicer that I wanted and a fucking tea kettle on Saturday. It was like the best. I manifested that shit.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a good rhythm. I feel like things are going my way. The universe is giving me the shit I need to have iced tea, you know, and to have, you know, all the things I need.
Yeah, that's nice.
The other thing I got.
Nice to have iced tea, juice.
To have tea, to have fresh squeezed orange juice.
Cold pressed juice, baby.
The only joys in my life is orange juice just made from fucking orange juice. It takes a ton of them.
Yeah.
It takes a fucking few pounds of them, but man, nothing hits the spot better for me.
Yeah.
So, I'm on an upswing.
That's great. That's great. It's good to hear. I'm on an upswing myself, I think. Maybe. I don't know. You know, my eating is good. I'm doing good on the eating. That's the first thing I thought was causing my twitchiness. And like, it's weird.
You're eating too good too fast?
I thought I was missing something. You know?
Pizza in the middle of the night or a whole box of...
That's what I was wondering. I was
Little
like,
Debbie's?
Is it like sugar? Am I missing sugar? But I'm like, no, I'm still eating a shitload of sugar. You know?
You got to.
Yeah, I love sugar.
We all love it.
Yeah, it's great. And I don't know. I thought it was a vitamin or a mineral. You know? It's like one of these minerals I'm not getting. You know? You sometimes you'll just find out, like, if I just take a couple minerals and everything's going to be okay.
Right.
You know?
Just sprinkle a few minerals in a tonic water.
Yeah, I do magnesium.
Okay.
Sometimes.
That's
it's just like, I'll have to get some magnesium in me, I think, and it'll make me feel better. And it usually cures the problem I'm having.
Okay.
I get it like once a year where I get like real twitchy for like a couple days. And then like I take some magnesium, it all fucking cools down.
So you already know what to do. What are you worried about?
I don't know.
This is old hat.
I'm worried about everything.
You're in the cut. You're in your own element. Like, you know what's up.
Yeah. Oh, I hate the twitch, though. I hate the twitchiness. That's the worst of my feelings that I get every year.
How could you pick one of the worst? They're all the worst. I mean, how could you choose one? It's like choosing a favorite child. They're all the worst.
Yeah, but some of them you can sleep. Like almost too much. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, it's the depression right now. I sleep like 15 hours. But that one's fine with me because it's like I love sleeping.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah.
But when you can't sleep, that's a problem. That's a problemo.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to roll with it.
Yeah. I'm trying to roll with. I've been watching Billions all night.
Okay, I don't know if that's rolling with it.
I'm a billions guy now.
I wouldn't call that rolling with it.
It is rolling with it. I'm seeing what the billionaires do. What do billies do? That's
you're
what they
trying
call
to-
billionaires.
No, they don't.
That's what billies do. Billionaires.
You're Billy. You're doing Billy shit.
Yeah. You know what they do? They always win by being the coolest motherfucker in the world. The first 3 episodes have a mention of Metallica in them, and then James Hetfield just shows up in one. And the guy's like, what do you do to turn it all off in your brain? And James Hetfield's just like, I play. And then they start playing fucking a jammer live.
Wanted, Dead or Alive.
They start playing one of their songs, and I can't remember what the song was, but they play it in...
Until It Sleeps?
No, I don't remember the song, but they do play it in the backstage area just for the billionaire guy and his friends.
Okay.
They're like, hey,
Private
man.
Sesh. Unforgiven 3.
Yeah. No, I don't remember. Oh, God damn.
Now
I wish
we're
I could remember the song.
Unforgiven 3.
But then in the next episode, he's like driving real fast on the road, and they play fucking Master of Puppets after he like blows up a big business deal.
Okay.
And they're like Master of Puppets. And then in like the second episode, he's wearing a Metallica shirt. And I'm like, the writers of this show fucking love Metallica.
Yeah, it's really turning everybody off Metallica.
Yeah. Yeah, the billionaire guy is just the biggest Metallica fan that's ever lived.
Yeah, well, I understand that. I'm a successful guy, coolest guy in the room. Everybody wants to be me. Everything's going my way. If I think about something and I don't have enough money, it just shows up at a fucking yard sale. So
yeah.
I know that life. That's why I'm down with the het man myself.
Yeah, it's such a fucking dumb show because it's like really, really, really dumb guy stuff, but it's about like financial trades and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like people probably watch it and they're like, this is what the financial industry's like. And it's like, it's probably actually not, because this show is incredibly stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, some would say waste of time.
No. It's not a waste of time. It's a wonderful
said
program.
some. I didn't
The
mean
wonderful.
everyone.
It has
everyone.
definitely taken the Shield's spot for me, where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is stupid. Oscars are happening right now, but I don't know any of the movies. I think I've seen like 3 of the movies. You know, it's like I saw Judas and the Black Messiah. I watched that.
I didn't see that one.
I did watch that. And then King Kong versus Godzilla.
I couldn't stay up for that one.
Not really in there anyway.
I have to try it again.
I loved it.
I watched this movie called A Cult Is My Passport. Like a gun is my passport.
Okay.
It's like it's from 1967. It's like a Japanese Yakuza like crime movie. I'm really into those right now.
Yeah.
So that was good. I recommend that one. There's this fucking sweet part where they're having a shootout in the desert and like fucking rolling on the ground and taking shots at each other. And it all has that like spaghetti western type sound where it's just like the bullets are just, it's like they shot a bullet. Yeah. In like a room full of spittoons and tin cans and pots and pans.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, I also saw Promising Young Woman. That's another movie I saw.
Yeah, I don't know that one either.
Yeah. And that's it. Pretty much. There is even a movie about heavy metal, and I was like, I'm not watching that.
I want to watch that one. The Sound of Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
I thought it might kick ass because it was about heavy metal, but it's actually not like as kick ass as it sounds. It seems like a movie where you like learn something. It's not like a heavy metal movie where it's like, oh man, these guys rock. This is a heavy metal dude.
Heavy metal guys learn stuff. They want to learn stuff. They're nerds. They're geeks.
That's true. That's true. But I would love them to not. You know,
Okay.
I'd love it to just be a movie about a badass dude.
You just want to have 90 minutes of like tough guys at a club pushing people around.
Yeah, playing heavy metal. It's
While
like,
heavy
ew.
metal plays.
Yeah, heavy metal's playing, and then the guy is just like, "Whoa, are you fucking ready to rock?" You know what I mean? Where they curse at you from the stage all the time.
Are you
I love that.
motherfuckers ready to rock?
Yeah, are you motherfuckers ready to go home? I wish Jonathan Davis starred in The Sound of Metal. That would have been good.
Okay.
That I could have used.
Yeah, maybe they could just hand it to different figures in metal to craft like their own artistic vision of what the sound of metal actually is. You know,
That's true. Yeah.
I've been listening. I have my playlist today. My Get Going playlist. I have one called Riff City. It's just all 70s and 80s fucking rock and roll. It's ZZ Top, Thin Lizzy, Motorhead, Judas Priest, UFO. If you ever hear me playing that, like, I'm ready to steamroll somebody.
Nice.
Like I'm in a good mood.
I was doing Ice Cube on the way here. I'm just really going hard on some Ice Cube for some reason.
Oh, I haven't listened to Ice Cube in a long time.
Me neither.
Not since I had a tape deck in my car.
I just got like the urge to hear Ghetto Bird.
Whose is that?
That's gotta be me. It's gonna be me. Yeah, and then the other thing I saw this week that's a little fucked up is
Yeah, Brian. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Elon Musk hosting Saturday Night Live. Like, that's gotta suck, you know? That's a real crummy thing that's happening. Like, Saturday Night Live is the shittiest, worst thing. You know? Like, what is Elon Musk gonna do on Saturday Night Live? Point at memes?
I mean, get people to talk about it. It's all that
That's
matters.
true.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter if you watch it, really.
They got us.
They did
You
get
just
us.
got.
Well, I hate Elon Musk, though.
Who
He's
cares?
just a turkey.
Who
That's how I
cares?
feel about him. He's a big, fat turkey.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hate all the rich guys. So
No, you don't. You watch TV shows that valorize them.
Oh no, that doesn't valorize him. He's a Billy, but he worked his way up from nothing to get $1 billion or a few billion. He's
Sure,
like
they all
one of the
did.
richest guys in the world.
They actually all did.
And he does real yeoman's work as a hedge fund manager. You know, he works really hard funding hedges.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Axe Capital.
I mean, heck, I couldn't do it. You know,
I know.
that kind of pressure, I couldn't live with it.
That's how I feel, man.
I know why you get $1 billion. I couldn't live with that. I couldn't watch a graph go up and down and figure out where it's going to go. My goodness.
Well, that's the thing about him is like he looks at the numbers, man, and like shit. He's like, I see the numbers in ways that other people don't.
He has emotions about him.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
loves those numbers, dude.
Yeah, strong feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean that, and that's why you're rewarded. You know, who wants to think about numbers all day? They're billionaires because they're geniuses. They just are crunching numbers all day long. It's all they do. It's sitting just doing quadratic equations and Pythagorean theorems and everything. Just constantly doing the work to earn $1 million. Like they're mining in their mind. They're mining reality with their brain to create fiat crypto, which is $1 billion.
If I'm saying that like the billions guy, he cheats a lot. So if that's true, it's really mostly insider trading that gets a person rich.
Exactly.
I believe.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
I imagine, because I can't imagine another way to win
Close
in
to
this world without knowing that, like, hey, this business is inventing a new kind of milk, and then you
Get as close to
can
the purse
invest.
strings as you can is basically the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more take you can bring in, the better information you get.
Yep. And then guys just tell you like their company's about to fucking invent I don't know. It's all pesticides and stuff in this show.
Fun.
It's just like Jesus Christ.
I can see why you watch it.
Yeah. Well, I like the edgelord stuff.
Oh yeah,
'Cause that's what there
that.
is.
That's why I can't turn that down. If you tell me there's edgelord stuff too, I gotta show up.
That's what I show up for.
That's must see TV.
That's what the B-Man. That's the only thing you can get me to show up is
Wow.
edgelord TV show.
Yeah, you're really crafting the perfect TV show here.
I do. I mean, I don't care about financial crime. Well, I do care about financial crimes. I don't care about how they happen. And I don't care what really happens in a billionaire's life. But I do care that the guy that's trying to prosecute him is a submissive. And sometimes he just does like some dirty sex stuff with like things that shock him and stuff like that. So
Okay, that's cool.
I dig that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a trope, I guess. I have a good one. I have something else. Sorry, on a different related thing, kind of, but not really. I was with Charlotte this weekend a whole bunch because it's my weekend, and she's playing Roblox like crazy. And she started watching this streamer that she now watches her stream, and I was like, I came upstairs and like, hey, what's going on? And she was like, oh my God, there was this creepy cop that took Rachel hostage and took her down into a basement because he liked her, and then someone else had to come save her. And she tells me this whole thing, and I was like, wait, where did this happen? She's like, this was on Roblox. And then I was like, okay. And so I did tell her that cops were creeps, and I told her that you can't trust people that just say that they're the police or that they have a badge. Like there's a lot of weirdos that, pretend to do that stuff. And then, in that we don't like the cops, I had like just a basic, and she didn't listen to any of it. She just wanted me to shut up so she could play more. But then the next day I go upstairs and I was like, what's going on, kiddo? And she's like, we're spying on the police. I'm a criminal. And I found a bunch of criminals and I have a camera and we go and we take pictures of the police. And we're trying to break people out of prison. And then she started telling me about how she was running away from the cops and how they slammed into the house and then she backed out and closed the garage door on them. And this whole high-speed chase that she got into in a matter of like one weekend of playing Roblox.
He's playing GTA Roblox.
It is so, it's like The Sims. And also The Sims, GTA, all of it. It's everything. It's a very wild game. But the only thing I like about it is that she started chatting with kids on there too. And so she does ask about words. And this is the most interest she's shown in like writing sentences and stuff, is so that she can talk to kids on Roblox.
Yeah, that'll
say,
get
hey,
you.
do you have any cool accessories I can borrow?
Yeah. Hey, that'll teach her though. Now it's time to fucking learn how to read because I want to chat on the internet.
Right. Yeah, I'm a bad dad, but it's what she's into. Like, she's built for it. She loves it. She's like, and I'm there with her. Like, I pay attention to all this stuff. The cop thing was cracking me up. I couldn't fucking believe it.
I never looked at what Gwen was looking at on the internet. I never really thought it was that big of a fucking deal. I kind of was like, hey man, don't meet people from the internet without telling me, is all I said to her.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And like, she's, I don't know, people think, I guess it's like wasting your time or it's like, rotting your brain. But it's so weird that it's like she has a whole life in there. She goes to work. She'll go and do a shift at a pizza shop to make money. And she'll go and make pizzas for like a whole afternoon and then go buy accessories for her house. It is like video games on steroids. And everybody's like under 14 years old. And it's a fucking really weird architecture. It's awesome.
That's great.
It's so weird.
Great. Yeah, Gwen did a lot of stuff like that. I never really had much of a problem with any of that stuff. She watched all that YouTube shit and
yeah,
it was like, whatever, She ended up normal. She's
alive. I mean, the reason that I don't mind is because millions of other kids are there, so she's going to grow up with other millions of kids that did the same thing, that joined either, like, were you a criminal or a cop on Roblox? That's going to be, like, on the social media in 15 years from now.
Yeah.
We got receipts. We can find your old Roblox account. Were you a cop or a criminal?
Yeah, yeah. Is it, guided?
No,
or do they make this shit up?
It's open world architecture. So basically Roblox is kind of like Minecraft in a way, in that there's all of these Lego pieces and all of these, there's just basically, you can build a world and you can make different games in it. So there is an infinite number of games, and there's a currency in the game called Robux. And there's people that are making, thousands of dollars a month by creating a game of freeze tag on Roblox. That's the number one game of freeze tag. All the kids go there. Basically, you're it or you're not, and you run away from each other. Or you go and you play like Piggy, which is this game where someone's a serial killer pig and chases the rest of you down. Or you do fashion show. Like, it's a completely open world sandbox, but it allows people to create their own levels and mini games in a way.
And it just wants to do cops and robbers?
She does everything. That was her get down today, like this weekend. But she goes to high school. She goes this one called like Brookhaven or something like that. And it's just where you go and go to science class and earn intellectual points and go and check your locker and get an apple to eat, and she just goes, it's just The Sims. I did the same thing it's The Sims. It's weird to see a little kid do it. And it's so easy, and it's so easy and second nature for her,
Yeah, for sure. That does sound fun. I mean, yeah, these kids gotta learn how to use the internet. That's all they're gonna do when they get older,
right?
So.
Well, man, my feelings about it is this is the world you're not gonna I could shun all of technology and go live a Ann Prim life if I wanted to spend my money that way, but no, I'm of this world. I'm in this world and I'm of this world, and that's why I feel too is you got to know the world that we're in, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Not of this world. Got my weed appointment tomorrow.
Cool.
So
that's fun. I got my second shot appointment tomorrow.
It's the same thing. Weed shots.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. It's not that bad.
What? You did a whole fucking show all about. You did the whole fucking song and dance about how
I got
bad
on
it
the
was.
other side
You tripped,
of it.
man. You had a vision quest.
I got on the other side of it, though.
Oh, but you're okay. So it's a good vision quest.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. I'm sorry if I'm yawning too much. Like I said, I did not sleep last night, so I'm trying not to yawn too much.
Brian has a tough life, people.
I'm trying to do it all right, but I'm not gonna yawn. Let's do this. Let's take some calls.
You ready to take calls?
Yeah, it's time. It's time.
Make sure. Okay. Cool. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight? We can't hear you.
Check, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello. Take the mute button off. I'll bet you hit the mute button.
Maybe.
Hello.
If you're died and went to heaven or hell, say the past. Oh, that was a sign. They passed. Their spirit passed.
Are we on? Is everything working?
Is everything gravy?
I actually don't think that it's connected right now.
Okay.
Wait.
Well, we got some tech diff. What? I can't see.
It's on, right?
It looks like it. Yeah, it says it's got the little scroll. Hello. Holler if you hear me.
Here, we're going to do this. We're going to return you to queue and then pick up a next one.
Okay.
Let's try it.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hi, it's Hank in Los Angeles.
What's up, Hank?
Person really fucking died on the calling queue.
It's possible, you know.
Jeez.
How's it going, Hank?
That's all right.
What's up?
Hey guys, it's going. Thank you for taking the call. I called last week, mentioned we talked pole vaults. It was the highlight of my week, and I said I'd call back this week to tell you a scammer story, if you recall that.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I want to tell you this. Okay. This takes a lot of weird turn. Well, I don't know how elaborate this really is. It's sort of benign overall, but obviously jump in whenever you have something to say. Of course, it's your show. You know what to do. So, all right, I'm driving here in Los Angeles and in a regular city street, like not on a busier street between a bunch of cars. And I take a turn and suddenly someone's behind me honking. And I look back and I see a dude behind me and he's got his arm out the window waving it a little bit, like kind of like get over. And I'm like, okay, he wants to get past me, whatever the fuck, I'll just let him go. But it turns out he actually pulls over with me. So I pull over and he pulls up behind me. So this guy's pulling me over and I'm thinking, okay, this is not a cop. It's like a old green crappy car. I couldn't really tell right away.
Citizen's arrest.
Citizen's arrest, yeah. I mean, I had just robbed a bank, and so I understand what he was up to. No,
I fucking tried citizen's arrest a few times as a teen. me and my dipshit ass friends would yell citizen's arrest at people and chase them, but they didn't ever stop. Nobody respects the citizen's arrest. It's really a shame.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth,
especially teenage citizens. Yeah.
Oh, so we respect the fucking.
I'd stop for a dude in his 50s.
So we respect the police.
Respect your elders.
we respect the police arrest, but a citizen's arrest, we just fucking let it slide. You know? Come on.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
What do you do?
Says we the
Can I
people,
ask
not
this?
to we the police.
Let me ask this. What do you fucking do once you've citizens arrested a guy? You know?
Then you citizens trial them and you citizens punish them with citizens jail, which is your basement.
Or
your
execute them. You can execute them. If
citizens
you find
electric
them
chair.
Don't say that.
Guilty for the death penalty.
Sure. Yep.
You can execute them. If they step on your grass.
It's their ass.
Exactly.
It's your ass. Hey, if you step on my grass, I have different laws in my yard. If I citizen arrest you, you get 20 years for touching my grass.
Yeah. I think that's fair. And another 10 if you hit your garbage can or maybe someone throws their dog shit in your can while they're walking by. That's an infraction.
Sometimes I'll citizens arrest you and sentence you to hard labor and you have to do all my work around the house for me. That's just a little thing I do.
Yeah.
It's in the Constitution. You should do citizens forgive or citizens commute sentence. Just go around and just, forgive people.
That's another thing I do.
Crimes.
sometimes I'll walk around with $100 in my pocket and I'll citizen reward 5 people. And I'll just say, bro,
I love it.
Hey, I saw you. It'll be for small shit too. That's how generous I am. Sometimes I'll see somebody throw their trash in the trash can and I'll be like, citizen's reward.
Hey, you fired that cart like a rocket right back into the corral. Here you go, $5 on me.
Yeah.
Citizen's reward.
Exactly.
We should be allowed to do a citizen's pardon. No, I agree. We should be able to go to the prison and be like, citizen's pardon.
Come on, he's with me. She's with me. They're with me.
Yeah.
Get him out.
Citizens movie night with the prisoners, and we all get ice cream.
And I vouch for the prisoner. I vouch for the guy that I pick up too. I don't mind. So he pulls you over, and you think it's a citizen's arrest, but he's talking to you.
Well, okay. So I'm thinking maybe I have a brake light out, or something's busted on the back of my door. I have a Prius. The back hatch might be, nothing seemed out of whack in mine. So I jump out, and it's a little awkward, and he's already out of his car really quickly. It's like a younger guy in his 20s, I would guess. And he starts in about how he wasn't super aggressive, but he clearly had some sort of, I don't know. Everything's happening pretty quickly, though. So he kind of had this spiel about how I had hit his car. He's telling me that I had smacked into his car as I was driving back there. And he said he was parked. And he points to my front right bumper that has a little scuff on it. I've been living in Los Angeles for 8 years with this car, or whatever. I mean, I've always been in cities. Every car in a city has some scuffing on their bumpers.
Yeah.
And so then he points over at his car. Yeah, right. I mean, I lived in Chicago for 10 years too. I'm very comfortable in these tight streets. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, it's not something and I'm going like, I don't remember. I came up on this. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I told him, I'm like, dude, I don't remember hitting your car. I think I would have remembered if I'd hit your car. He was like, oh, it could happen without you noticing, you might not have, and he has an answer for everything. And he points at a spot in his car on the driver's side door that looks vaguely the same height as mine, but all bumpers are roughly the same height. I mean, there's some variability, I guess, a little. And I'm looking at it, and and it's a young woman in the car with him too. She's like on her phone. And I'm just starting, I'm giving the guy the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, okay, maybe I did something. And then he says, look, this is going to take a lot. We don't want to bother with the insurance. We don't bother with the cops. How about, you got to fix this. If you want to make it right, you can just give me $80. You can just pay me right now to go away. So I'm like,
wow.
No. I go, I'm not giving you any money. And I go, I was like, first of all, I don't really believe that I hit you. I'm not sure that's persuasive. You won't even tell me where. I'd been asking him a couple questions. He's like, you won't even tell me where you were parked. We could walk over there and look. I don't know what that would have done. But so my suspicions are rising this whole time.
Yeah.
At first, I'm just like, this guy's needs help or whatever.
He thought us Prius folk were an easy mark, but we stand up for ourselves.
For sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
He profiled me in my Prius. Yeah. And so I say, I don't have a measuring tape. I start looking around in my Prius because I do a lot of stuff with wood. This actually is coming up. I'm like, we could measure this and see if it's even the right height. And then I realized I had just talked myself into a trap because what if it is the right height?
Right.
Then I'm like, fuck.
You're $80 in the hole.
Like, oh, no, I didn't. Well, yeah, exactly. I had $20 on me.
Yeah, this is.
There's no way in the hell I was going to give him any money.
This is old school flim-flamming. Like, this is also somebody, he could have tried to hit you with a sob story. He could have, there could have been a million ways to come at this problem of needing $80. And, this is just one thing in the arsenal where, fuck it, let's just tail this guy in our fucking beat up car.
This is a bad way to do it, though.
It is. You got to force.
Dude, it's ballsy as hell.
I mean, maybe in LA, though, because there's more of a chance somebody will just be like, here's $80, go away from me. But I would never give somebody $80.
I bet so.
I actually
he's preying on your he's getting prey. If it's working, he's preying on your gullibility or your willingness not to be awkward or your inherent sort of sense that you trust people. And he's getting people to say, oh my gosh, I didn't notice. I'm so sorry. And I was questioning the whole premise because I didn't hit him. How could my front right bumper hit his door without also scraping into his wheel? And then, I mean, it would have been a massive ding.
He's already winning.
When you're inside a car.
You're still arguing with him.
What?
You're still arguing with this ass.
It's true. I bring up the height, and he walks over and he uses his leg, and he's like, "Yeah, look." He goes, and he puts his leg next to mine, and then he goes, "Look right by my knee." Okay, that's right. And I said to him, "This is really embarrassing because I'm such a fucking narcissist." I go, "Dude, I do woodworking. I know how to measure." Like why did I have?
I
to
measured twice before I cut once.
Yeah. Listen, pal. Okay, I do woodworking. Fuckface. I know what I'm doing. I don't need your knee. Your knee is not a good ruler. So then he walks over to his car. He points at his knee, and then he lowers the price to $60. He decides that he'll be okay with $60.
I like this guy.
And I'm getting more irritated. Yeah, I'm like, this is just. I'm not doing. You're not. There's no way this is going where you're getting money out of me. So finally,
he's a street salesman, is what they're called. Street salesman.
Yeah. Right. And I'm still not 100% sure this is a scam. This just could be a dude who's out of touch, who doesn't really understand how things work. Oh, let me mention this too. Before he really got into his spiel, he pointed out that his car was covered in scrapes.
Okay.
And he's like, "This is a wreck-it car. This is a wreck car." He named something that was like a way that I think you buy old shitty cars, or I guess that's what he was trying to say. I couldn't quite understand that.
Like a wrecker.
Something like that, but with wrecks. And it looked like it was like a 4-door green sedan. It was crappy. It had to be like a late 90s, early 2000s. Oh, it was a pretty aged car and covered in scratches all over the place. The perfect tool for scamming, for pulling over gullible Prius drivers like myself. So I finally say to him, there's like a whole nother half to this. I go, "Dude, the only way this is going down is we call the police, we talk to them, we file a report, and then we get insurance involved. That's the only possible way this proceeds anywhere." Because I could see he was getting a little frustrated that I wasn't pulling out my money.
Now you're going all in.
And I don't think
his bluff.
I don't think the cops are going to come anyway. Yeah, I'm calling his bluff. I'm basically, and then I could tell I was serious though. I was fine calling the cops if he wants that. I doubt they would have showed up. It would have been a huge. The LA cops are just horrible. It's just a nightmare. I hate involving them in anything. And anyway, so he smells me out, and I'm putting out confident vibes here too. You know what I mean? Like my back, I feel like I'm being a little. Yeah, I'm a woodworker. How could I not? For God's sakes. So anyway, he gets in his car real quick, and he kind of leaves. And as I'm walking away, and he can still hear me, I sort of say, I go, "Yeah, good luck with the next one."
Ah.
As is to say, "I know you're scamming. Fuck you."
Got him.
Which I realized later was probably bad to escalate because there's weapons in this country. You never know. What's good to that?
I think that's good customer. You fill out a customer card. You basically fill out a customer receipt, like just basically exit survey on how the service was today. Is like, you got to do better. You're going to need to do better than that. You need to come up with a better pitch. You need to have better evidence. You need to have these things ready to go. What if you pull over in a woodworker? What if you're dealing with a woodworker? Be prepared.
Right. Or a pipe fitter or somebody who works in the trades,
Not saying this is the way to do it at all. I would have gave him the money. I would have gave him the fucking money. It's too fucking funny to me. and I also don't want them to bother the next person. That's like my Starbucks pay it forward. Is that like just to give somebody on the street like $80 so that way they can just be at ease for a little bit, It
would be a kindness. I'd like to be able to do that for somebody, but not this guy though. He didn't deserve it.
I agree.
So as he's driving off and he heard me say what I said, he goes, "It wasn't." I said, "Good luck with your next one." He goes, "There is no next one." He goes, "Don't hit people's cars." So he lectures me as he's pulling away.
Okay.
And that's when I'm like, "Fuck you, fuck." So I pull out my phone to try to make it look like I'm going to take a picture to try to scare him.
Okay.
You know that thing we all do with our phones?
Yeah, you're leveled up.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, well, I'll take a photo of as you drive. And he was way too far away by the time I finally got my phone out. So I get in my car, and I'm like, that's nuts. That's just weird. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't give this guy any money. I'm broke as shit anyway. I had $20 in my wallet.
Yeah, if you don't got it, it's like, guy, you're wrong.
Yeah, I don't got it.
It's like, can we get in on can we go convince somebody else that they hit both of our cars?
Yeah, yeah. So I pull over the next car I see, and I scam them for $90. I leveled up. No. So off I go to my destination. I'm heading where I'm going. And literally within 2 minutes of this guy leaving me, I see him pulled over someone else. He's done it again that fast.
Wow.
Now it's 100% sure. I know for fucking sure. He's a scammer. This isn't just some misunderstanding. This is absolute scammer.
Those are cold calls. Those are called cold calls. Those are cold calls on the road.
Right.
He's just pulling over customers and seeing if they'd like to try his new service of getting them out of their face.
I'm paying $80.
Hey, there's this new service I have. I'll stop talking to you for $60 today. I'll stop talking to you. I'll get out of your life, and I won't be a bother.
Right. It's just like, yeah. I'll leave you alone,
man. That's a job. That's a lot of. I mean, you are inconveniencing people. People are going to blow up on you. You have to deal with tough guys. Like, you never know who you're going to get. You know, right? That's a tough road to hoe for sure.
He's lucky I'm a big sweetie. He had a busted eye. One of his eyes was. It looked like
I would have used that.
Healing, like a black eye that was almost better.
I would have been like, you bumped my eye, dude. I would have just yelled like, this guy punched me in the fucking eye. You know what I mean? I would have used that, not the car.
And then,
the car got a bunch of scratches.
To my eye and been like, look, he's the same height.
Yeah. Now I actually want to give that guy like $100,000. Now that you reveal that, I would. If you see him out there on the road, I'd like to pay for the rest of his life.
Yeah, help him pay off that car. We could use some help. And with that kind of gumption, you could just go work at a Sebring dealership and make a fortune. I mean, you could talk people. I mean, he's got the sort of gross sales skills that there are ways to use for making real money or making honest money. I guess I don't know. If that's a thing.
And it is like sales. I was thinking about it the other day, because I'm having a tough time with with what's going on with my life. And I'm thinking about other jobs that I had, and I'm trying to reconfigure my life if I had that job, and thinking about hammering away at the phones. Like when you do sales, you talk to people for hours on end, hundreds of people in a day, and they say, I hate you. They say, never call me. They say, you're a piece of shit. They abuse you all the time. You get treated and then you're just looking for that one moment where someone's like, yeah, I'll do your business. And then you get 2 of those out of the day. You know, he hits 2 people with that in a day, and he has enough for a fucking dinner in a hotel. Yeah.
$160. And if he can get 2 an hour, I was doing the math, it's not that hard. I mean, okay, there's more to this though. By the way, I did a sales job where I had to call, it was a temp job, and my job was to sell car dealerships on an advertising package, like a nationwide. It was horrible. I had to talk car dealership managers into saying yes. How could you possibly persuade those guys? Those are the sharks of the sharks in the world. It was so bad. They were so mean. It was horrible. I hated it. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I see this pulled over. He's got another guy. And dude, it looks like he has a nicer car than me. And I see the guy standing out. And it looks like he's wearing scrubs. Maybe it was a doctor. I couldn't really see. Everything was happening quickly.
Make it up.
And I take some pictures of that. And then I leave because I was at a stoplight. I had time to take pictures. And I'm like, I can't just, should I go back? I think I need to go back.
No.
And what do I do then? Do I pull up behind him? Do I stop by and just start screaming, hey, that guy's trying to scam you? Just do that really slowly while I'm slowly driving by. Every single possible choice is awkward or dangerous.
Except for go away.
And
I would just leave.
Yeah, go away.
Except for go away.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Get out of the grip. Yeah.
I better rip that motherfucker off. Get it.
Yeah,
I would drive by and say, get him, motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the guy that scratched your car. Get him.
He hit him. So I would just drive by and say, he hit him.
Yep. That would be smooth. Yeah.
I saw you hit him.
Yeah. I gotta get to work, but he hit him.
And then wink at your guy. Wink at your scam guy.
Yeah.
Hey,
bud. I'm
and then
broke
give him my
too.
address so I can get my 10%.
Get this motherfucking medical guy's money.
Yeah, right. So I go past him. I chose to just go away, and then I had a moment of what's the opposite of clarity. I decided to go back. So I pull over. I turn around. I just want to get a picture of his license plate. Honestly, I'm just thinking I got to get a better photo. I was kind of far away the first time. So I go around and I have my camera out and I'm ready to take pictures. And now I'm risking crashing because I'm trying to take pictures while turning a corner, and it's not smart.
Yep.
And I did get a few better photos. Nothing that shows his license, but I did get him and the guy. And as I pulled past him, though, the dude was handing him something. I think that this was a success. I think it worked. So he was he had didn't have a sale with me, but it did work with this other one.
That guy needed some cash, man.
Yeah, you got
sure did.
Sometimes you have to think about like if you're doing stuff that the police would do, and then you don't do that.
Yeah, that's the thing is you just got to be like, I'm just gonna go on, and then look. Nobody deserves to get scammed out of $80. I'm not
a lot
saying
of people do.
Well, okay, yeah, that's true.
Most people.
But you have to. What you have to do when you get away from this thing is you have to say to yourself, I wasn't able to be scammed.
Yep.
I am not a mark. I'm
not a mark
for the mark that is going to actually win. Yeah, you pat yourself on the back. It's like fucking, I don't know. It's like winning the high jump or something like that. You're like, okay, so, I'm not a fucking mark. I did it, And giving him money to get him to go away is also not being a mark. I think that's also fine. You're just like, I know what's going on here. Maybe in order to not be a mark, you have to say like, I know you're ripping me off. Here's $80.
Not
just
really though. I mean, there's wrestling journalism from the 50s and 60s that truly suggests that the crowd knows that all the fights are staged.
Oh, I know.
Everybody's in on it. Everybody knows what the game is here, and you can like give your money away. Like you can play the game.
No, I'm saying it would just be hard for me not to let the guy know that I fucking know he scammed me. You know what I mean?
Oh,
if I did give him the $80, I'd be
and
like,
then also be like, yeah.
Then wink at him like, no, I know you scammed me. That's a good scam. You got there, my friend.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
just
funny.
I used to hang out at the train yard or something.
It's funny to say $80 for a fucking part of a car when anybody that's been in an accident knows like every part of the car is $7,000.
Well, yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you know a guy that can buff it for 80 though, then it's like, you know what, man? Let's just call it. Let's just not get anybody involved. $80, my friend will buff it out.
I'm gonna go fucking out to the CRV and I'm gonna key it in different spots, and then like every car of every height, I'm just gonna be like, you hit me. You know what I mean? That's what you gotta do. You gotta get a little piece.
My recommendation.
Yeah.
Before you do that, go to Brett's Prius and use your knee to make a mark exactly where the bumper is. That way you'll be able to lock it down.
Put some paint on it. I'll put a little bit of paint on the CRV.
So what happened after you did your CIA intelligence?
Okay. So I got all my clandestine photos, and I just drove past. I go to where I'm going, and I actually knew this cashier person. I told him the story, and he goes, "Oh, you should have called the cops. You should have called." And I was like, I wasn't gonna call the cops at all. And I'm also a little worried you guys are gonna judge me for what happened next. Nothing dramatic, but I know, it's all right. I'm ready. So I have the photos. I have him committing the crime again. I don't know if this is something. This seems to me like I decide, okay, fine. I'll call 311, non-emergency, and I feel like I should report it.
You don't ever have to report nothing. I'm not yelling at you, and I'm not trying to make you feel bad about anything, but I'm going to tell you right now, the only thing you really have to report is if your car is totaled. Right? Because I don't report shit. Mm-hmm. I have cars. My mom fucking destroyed a car I was leasing. I'm telling you, she fucking backed up out of a spot and just scraped one whole door of the car. And I didn't even call insurance. I was like, you know what? I don't want to fuck my mom's life up. I'm not going to report it. If she'd have totaled the car, I'd have had to report it. You know what I mean? I just have like a very high level. Like, I only report things if I think they're totaled. And like, also, if I can't think of a reason to report a scammer other than to get my money back. One time I did get scammed. I did report a scammer once to the Attorney General. My wife did it. Because she bought magazines off one of those guys that get you at the grocery store or that comes to your house and he's like, hey, why don't you order I'm selling Sports Illustrated. I got some Rolling Stone. I got Spin. You know what I mean? He's like, I got a subscription. This is a great scam too, by the way, for all you people out there. You just buy a book of receipts, right? And then he sold her a subscription to Rolling Stone, Spin, and then some magazine she's into, like People or something like that, and then was like, that'll just be $90 cash, and like just took $90 cash from her for the subscription. Magazines never showed up.
Yeah.
So she contacted Attorney General Betty Montgomery, and then we got all the money back. But they couldn't get the guy. He took cash.
He's still a cop shit.
I got my money back.
Cash for magazine subscription.
I'm doing it. I would have done that. It's like my ticket scam.
No.
It's where you buy tickets.
You can't rely on the government because you made a bad decision because you were stupid enough to give your money to someone who's trying to scam you.
This was also like 1990.
Sure. Okay.
9 maybe,
right?
2000. Right. But I'll say this too. This is the best scam in the world, and not enough people do it. What you do is you buy a roll of tickets, and you just sell tickets for a raffle. For like $5 a piece, and then never do the raffle.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like nobody checks on a raffle. You know, it's like, hey, we're doing a raffle. Have you ever been like, hey, where can I check the results of this raffle? You know, those goddamn tickets are going to nowhere. You're throwing your money into a hole. I'm going to do a raffle at our next live show and show you how this works. A real raffle, though. This will be a real raffle. I promise there will be prizes. Brett's just going to win the prize.
Will you make money? Will you get like a little cut off the top, like a 10% operator's fee?
No, I'll make all the money. What I'll do is I'll sell them, and then the winner of the raffle will be Brett, and then me and him will split the money.
I like it. That's smart. And then you can buy more raffle tickets, and now you've done a capitalism.
True.
That's brilliant.
So did anything happen?
No, listen. So what do you do?
Well, no. Okay. My thought was this
doesn't matter. What did you do?
That someone might pay attention to. I called the 311 line. Eric Garcetti, the mayor, answers with the pre-recorded line, pre-recorded thing. It says, "You've reached the LA Department of Last time I tried calling 311 was years ago when my Prius was broken into and had my airbag stolen. Lock your damn Prius, by the way. The airbags are extremely easy to remove.
And steal Brett's airbags.
Seriously. Cost me $500, and that's just for my insurance deduction. It sucked. So, but that also busy signal, no answer, never. So I don't have any faith that there's going to be any help or that they're going to catch the guy. My thought is, I have photos, and maybe there's data, and they know that some dude is going. He wasn't robbing a company. If I saw somebody stealing, or if I saw somebody hit another car, I'm not going to involve any police. But
no,
he just tried to fucking steal from me.
Yeah, you know what? And you made it out of it, man. You don't need to be telling people. Somebody that's running that scam and is in a way more desperate situation that you are in.
Totally.
And the eye situation is something that probably has a lot of problems in regards to getting work. And this is the same thing that happened with the Taco Bell story last time. I can't believe that white dudes are still listening to the show and think that they have a good reason to call the police or call the government or tell. You should be helping. The only thing you do is help. You don't tell. You don't snitch. You don't attack. You don't fuck somebody that needs help. You help them. You give them everything in your wallet because your wallet will be full tomorrow. And theirs is in a place that you don't understand.
Right. No, I have compassion for what conditions might be driving this guy to do what he's doing.
But you don't have the connection to your actions. You're acting like a cop.
Right.
You're trying to bust a scammer. You knew what was up. Yeah. He didn't try to kill you. He wasn't going to harm you. He was just hassling anybody that would give him $60. And you saw what was up. You're wise. You're a street fighter. You give them the nod. You say, "Hey, my man, I know what you're doing. I'm not that dude." You let him knock off the next person. He didn't threaten to kill you. He didn't try to do anything besides convince you to give him money to go away. So, you needed to just go on with the rest of your day. You're not responsible for his life. It's not going to turn out good for him doing that all day long. And you don't need to be the one to, add on to that.
I hear what you're saying. I'm taking it in. I'm not trying to, I don't want to I feel mild defensiveness creeping up.
Of course.
Because I'm being self-aware about being self-aware about my emotions. So I'm not going to stand my ground. As partially what I wanted to talk to you guys about to get your perspective on this, because I had a lot of hesitation and complex thoughts about it. My thought was I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not as far along as you guys are in the idea that pulling people over who are just regular people in cars and scamming them is a behavior that I would agree with or want to. He wasn't. There was no property damage. I wouldn't call on that on property damage. I wouldn't call on stealing. I wouldn't call on breaking something or whatever. It just seemed. But I hear you, man. I get what you're saying.
And
I'm
I know.
absolutely gonna.
I love your energy. I love you energy. I love your energy. I was giving you shots before. You took it fine. I really appreciate you calling in and talking about this.
Yeah.
I mean, we just aren't in the circumstances where that guy's in charge of his life. Like that guy is being, when we talk about, when I think of things mathematically, there's a statistically, there's a part of the population that is just going to be squeezed into these like petty crime things to get by. And the people that operate in those zones are somebody that like, I don't have any judgment for them. I don't have any, I desperately want to help them. That's my main concern, but I don't want to create any more problems for them. I don't pity. I don't want to be a pity person, but I also like I have to come to understand like what life is like for them. If they could probably go to a job and get paid $1,000 a week and have a house and stuff, I don't think they'd be doing that. I only steal when I have to. I only rip people off when I have to. I've never done it when I had things going in my direction.
No doubt. I was thinking similar things while it was happening. Like, what this shit must be fucked up for this guy to be doing this out here like this.
Sure.
It was. So you'll be relieved to know that the ineffectiveness of the 311 system prevented any help from happening, or not help. That's the wrong word. Any intervention from the government at all. I had to sit on hold for 20 minutes. I get to explain to some operator, and her only thing is, "Oh, you got to talk to your insurance in case there's insurance." I go, "No, there was no insurance. I just thought maybe you guys needed data points here. I'm not looking for anything."
Yeah,
and
you
then
were doing volunteer
my
police
fucking
work.
Bluetooth.
I'll say this.
Yeah, I guess I was.
I do want to say,
but there's more to this.
I do want to say this though. Mm-hmm. I've made mistakes in my day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also, like my feeling look, I don't like to get tied up in people's worlds. Everybody knows that about me. I fucking and your situation that you were in is my fucking nightmare. Being tied up in some fucking guy's thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Here's what I do. I run as fast as I can away from those people and just jump in the car and take the fuck off. But I also, I understand. Here's what I understand. I do understand calling 311 in a way. Don't look at me like that. I'm not done explaining what I'm saying.
Remember who's down for real.
I'm not saying I understand. I wouldn't have done it. Like I said, I would have ran away at this situation. But I also understand that when somebody gets in your shit and fucking is bothering you and is trying to rip you off and stuff, you fucking do get pissed off sometimes, and you do get that, I wish I would have fucking done something about that, you know what I mean? And like, it doesn't take much to decide the next step is I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah.
And what are you going to fucking really do about it? I think also calling 311 is sort of like, what is 311 even going to do? And they just tell you that you
don't have a real emergency to call 911. Hi, we're 311. Yeah. This isn't a 911 emergency, so please hang up. Actually, I think that's a good answer too. I don't implore you to be like a bodhisattva that reaches out to all of the suffering people of the world and tries to alleviate their pain. I think that you could have just ran the other way. I think that's perfectly acceptable. I don't expect people to act like me, and if you don't want to be involved with that, like, just go away, and you don't have to concern yourself with it.
I also want to say that, like, there is a guy in downtown Columbus that fucking has hit me up like 1,000 times, and every time I give him what I have, he asks me to go to the ATM and get him more. You know what I mean? And I have done it a few times, but it's gotten to the point now where like because he fucking takes my time, he follows me around, he like follows me. He knows I'm going to walk down High Street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he fucking finds me every day and he's like, hey, can I get some money? So I give him whatever's in my pocket. Every cent that's in my pocket, because I don't carry more than like, I rarely have more than $10 on me.
Sure.
So I just give him every cent that's in my pocket. And then he's like, hey, can you get me $20 more? Or he'll be like, can you buy me a coffee? And I'll buy him a coffee and it'll be like, can I add a sandwich and something else on there? And that'll be another $20. I don't have enough money.
Sure.
To pay $25 a day to this guy.
Sure.
And fucking, so now when I don't want to deal with this guy, I fucking look down and I put my headphones in and I just keep walking. It doesn't like make me feel good. You know what I mean? To do that, but I don't want him to get in trouble. I don't want him to like have to deal with any bad shit because of me. I just don't want to be in his world. You don't have time for it
today.
Yeah, I don't want to be in your world, sir. I have $100 in the bank right now. I can't give you $25 today. You know, but there is like, that is like my whole thing is just like, and like you did this one time. I don't think that like you're a bad guy for doing something like this. I'm just saying in the future, in like these kinds of situations, it is easiest just to fucking not
laugh.
run.
Just start laughing your head off.
Yeah, or like don't. There are I swear to God, there's this one guy that calls me fat all the time. When I'm walking down the street, he has called me fat.
That's
10
Brett.
fucking times. He's like, hey man, can I get some money? I'll give him some money. And he'd be like, oh, it looks like you're eating good with that belly sticking out. And then it's just like, oh, great. Thanks, guy, for calling me fat. I just gave you $10. Now I'm fat too. And like,
he's a dom, man.
Yeah.
He's pay pig.
Well, I don't give him shit anymore because he's a dick.
Okay.
And he yells at people too. He's one of those guys that yells at people. But I just like feel like every person that's trying to rip me off on the street probably needs money.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give them what I got, what I can. I'm not going to give them any more. I'm like, I'm not going to go to the ATM. I've made the decision. No more going to the ATM. That is bonkers. If I saw somebody with blood all over them, like holding a baby and screaming, and they said, I just need $100, I give them $100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm not going to just give some random guy in basketball shorts $100.
Sure.
So
everybody with a baby should get $100 so they don't throw the baby at you. Yeah.
Yeah. But I do think like if this happened in the future, it would very much be like the best thing you can do is to, and I've seen Brett do this. This is where I got the thing is the sentence, I don't want to be in your world, is this fucking wild woman in Denver one time started bugging me and Brett and our friend. We were standing outside fucking hanging out, smoking cigs and stuff. And this woman just got in the middle of us and she wouldn't fucking leave us alone. She kept trying to do all this shit and like all this weird asking for money, come down to this place, let's do this. And like, it was very obvious she was trying to get something out of us. And Brett just said like, I don't want to be in your world. And she left. She just fucking walked away. And it was fucking crazy. But it is
That's a good line. I'm going to keep that.
It is. It's very important to like it's not stand your ground like a gun, but you do have to like, I understand your idea that like it's like I'm not gonna let this fucking guy rip me off and then he's gonna go rip other people off and shit. I understand getting like that fucking thing in your head, and I just think the only I would say the only mistake you made is calling 311. Really, most of what you did is fine.
I'm going to do a lot of thinking and processing about the whole every reaction, including what people are saying in the chat. I'm not so prideful that I'm going to just insist that I shouldn't be persuaded or change my mind.
Those guys in the chat are a bunch of assholes. They're being rude to you.
Oh, they're all
I'm
good.
not going to let them.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to let them talk shit about you. That's not what I'm saying.
It's okay. Well, one of the reasons I wanted to hear your guys' perspectives, kind of knowing I might be stepping into the tiger pen a little, is just like, when do you ever involve the cops? We know that the world we live in,
when they make
it's a terrible thing to have the police anywhere, especially American police, especially this justice system. It's an awful system. And I probably, now that I'm hearing from you, I think that was a poor choice that I made.
No.
A big part of
what you get involved when you there are times in your life where you might have to get the cops. Like, here's the thing. Like, the way that things are set up, the cops sometimes, like a car accident, right? Where like the cops have to come because they have to fucking take down a report so that the insurance will pay for it and everybody knows that everybody's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that I think is fine. I don't know. I mean, like I said, also, like, or not like I said, I never said this, but like there are, I don't know, man. I don't call them for anything ever. Like, it would have to be an extraordinary circumstance. If I walked up on somebody killing somebody, I might call the police. If I don't even know what I mean, because I've seen crazy shit. I've heard of crazy shit. I have a relative in my family that was really drunk one night and tried to get into a neighbor's house and was like pulling on the door and yelling outside and shit like that. And like, if I'd have called the police, that person could have got killed. You know what I mean? Like, that person probably not, because they're a white woman, but you know what I mean? like it just,
of course,
you have to have the understanding that the police might kill somebody is always the way that I think about it. And I don't know if I mean, the only time I've ever called the police is when forced to, and I give them as little information as I possibly can. When I got robbed at the cable company, they made me call the police, and then they made me talk to the cops, and I just didn't describe the guy. I was just like, I mean, it was just some guy, whatever. I don't care. You know, I don't have to work now.
Right.
So like, it's just like, I think people have very different ways. People grew up very different ways. The way that I grew up was that you just never talk to the police. But like, that's not how everybody grew up. And that's not it just, since I was 12, I've been told that since I was 12, this kid moved into my neighborhood from the west side of Columbus. Brian Stamper, he moved into my neighborhood, and like, we were all these bad kids fucking around and stuff like that. And I'll never forget, the guy fucking looked at us one time and was like, "You never ever snitch." And like, we took that on for the rest of our lives. Like, and I've just always been that way. But like I said, not everybody grows up that way, especially if you're a white dude, man. Like, those are the people that call the cops, you know?
Yeah, that's me. I had every fucking ordinary white guy upbringing, suburban Chicago, you know, raised by, I mean, you know, just standard, nothing pro-cop or anti-cop, but definitely not anti at all.
Oh yeah.
You know, DARE programs in school and cops in the school. So, but I often, I've never had a comfortable interaction with a police officer throughout all my time. I've seen them do crazy shit very early, and knowing that it's not good to, you know, but I don't know. Yeah, there's more I could ramble about. I don't want to use up any more time.
Yeah, we got to wrap this up.
I hear you.
Let me give you my answer though. Is that like, all this crime shit is fake? Like, anything that's bad behavior that you learned about in school is just people getting by, and like, you need to maybe get comfortable with the criminal class or people that do illegal things, because they shouldn't be illegal. There is no reason, you know, this is how people make ends meet, you know, through sex work, through scamming, through drug dealing, through stealing from work, through all kinds of things that sound bad or seem bad on paper. You know, but that's just the world that we're in. They're in those circumstances because of the system and the way that it's set up. So you need to have forgiveness for all of those people. And so you call the police if someone pulls out a gun and shoots somebody. You call the police. You call 911. You don't even call the police. You call ambulance if someone's in medical distress. But there's no reason to call the police on. I mean, if things are going okay and someone breaks into your car and takes your nice Ray-Bans out of it, just that
or your airbag out of your Prius.
You're lucky. You're lucky. You're living a charmed fucking life. And the people on the bottom deserve to to levy a much larger tax on the rest of us. So all of these crimes and all these things that people do to get by are something that are not of concern to you at all. You can just, go the other direction.
Yeah. And hey, we love you.
Yeah.
And you know what? The chat, the way they're treating you, I think it makes me sick, to tell you the truth. I'm very angry at them, and I'm not going to let them talk about you like that anymore.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that.
But thanks for calling. It was a good call, and you're a good
share
caller.
a little vulnerability.
No,
you did great.
You did great.
Really,
it was great.
We'll do more.
This is a legendary moment. You really did help a lot.
Don't let these assholes in the chat talk about you in that disparaging way.
You did your little Encyclopedia Brown investigation, and then found out that they don't give a shit about this guy. They could have busted this guy forever ago. It's only the small time volunteer cops that are working this beat.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling in. We got to get we're filling up right now. But thanks for calling.
I know.
Peace.
I love you. I love you too.
We love you.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Send me a message. I'll send you a care package.
And
it's okay.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
All good.
Sop up those white man tears.
So
yeah,
I just want to say this real quick now after the call. Hey, Chad, I love you. You're really great people, and I don't think that you're that. I think you're nice and you're kind, and you really let people in.
The grillers.
I like that. Yeah, they're great.
They're good.
They're just sweet people. You gotta be. I'm playing.
Don't. All right. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, I think this is me.
This is you.
You would know.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's good. I'm Jack from Kansas City. I haven't called in quite some time.
Sweet. So what's up, Jack?
But first, I got a couple quick things real quick.
Okay.
Brian, you sound like a politician right now, playing both sides.
I would never
call 311. He's like, I got 311 on speed dial because I only want 1/3 of 911. That's like a third. That's the 311.
I would never. I would never.
He said that their trash was out on his side of the thing. He called 311 to report his neighbors.
I've never called 311 in my life. I wouldn't even know what to say. I wouldn't know a reason to call. I called 411 a few times.
What's the 411 is what I always say.
To call 411 and prank them. It was so funny. And they'd be like 411 what city? And we'd be like fucking Abu Dhabi. And then we would laugh because they would just go on with the rest of the call. You know what I mean? We were like, God damn, we got them motherfuckers. A lot of pranking we did. So yeah, I'm not a politician though. I'm just saying that
a quick thing at Brett though too. We really should be calling the police on the police, because if you've seen any of the statistics that have come out in the past few years, asset forfeiture by police is taking way more money and stuff from citizens than home robberies and all that.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, that what's that fucking asset forfeit? I'm not even going to try and say it again. I'm just going to move right on. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
No, am I coming in clear?
You're coming in great.
Loud and clear.
Okay. Cool. But no, I was calling in. I had a couple things. I guess this is I should say trigger warning real quick. I had a friend recently who took his own life, and so that's been weighing pretty hard. But
that's rough.
The funeral happened, and that kind of gave a lot of closure. I'm doing a lot better now. And as fucked up as it is to say, it's kind of made me realize I don't have much time either, probably.
Sure. How old are you?
You know, in the grand scheme of things. So, I'm only 23, but
yeah, you're like
still,
a quarter of the way through. But
You got a lot of time.
Yeah, you got a couple more lifetimes to live.
Here's something I do though.
Maybe.
I'm gonna be with you here. Like I've had a few people go that way too. It's really tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
but he was my age too, and he had like really bad like addiction to opiates, I guess.
Yeah.
And so that makes it all even worse.
Dude,
But
that's the
all
age.
the people
though.
we know.
Yeah, that is the age though, dude. Like when that sort of thing happens a lot of times. I mean, everybody I know that took their life were really in their early 20s, late teens, and it was really fucking it's devastating to find out, you know? And it does really kind of make you feel like, oh my God, I could die any day now. And it really freaked me out because for me, it was like, it really freaked me out. I know when it happened with my friends, because it was kind of like, what if I do that? You know what I mean? Not that I thought like maybe I'll do it, but and like you start to think, what?
You're flirting with it. Messing with the same substances and shit.
Yeah, but you also just start to think like, what if my mind goes to that place? You know what I mean?
No, that's another thing too, because I was there before, and he helped me out of that spot, and so I just, you know, that made it even worse. Considering I know it's not my fault at all. I can't blame myself for any of it, but like
that's rough.
That he was there for me and I couldn't be there for him is a rough part of it as well.
Yeah, it's hard to tell though. Like with some people, a few of the people I know that happened to, like there were no signs, and then there were other people that there were several signs, and like you just can't even when there are
signs at all.
When there are multiple attempts, even you really never know. You know what I mean? Like one of the first person that ever this happened to in my life, had multiple attempts, and like everybody knew that there were multiple attempts, and we didn't fucking know, like had no idea when it actually happened. It was just like we were all still like, I can't fucking believe he did that. You know what I mean? And like it is, so even if you saw signs and stuff like that, there's nothing you could have done, you know?
Right.
Yeah, my opinion on this thing really is, there is certainly nothing to think about as far as that goes. But you know, I had a really good friend at work that had really bad stomach problems, and he used opiates to alleviate the pain. He eventually found himself in the same situation, but there was a group of people that were formed around him that we all loved and care about each other. And so you need to like reach out to the people that also, you know, were friends with your friend. And those will be people that maybe you'll talk to for the rest of your life. Like some of these folks, like I can check in with every 5 to 10 years and we just pick up like it was the last time we talked to each other. And it's just, those type of relationships are comforting. And, you know, they come about because of very grave circumstances, but they also remind us of like the delicate nature of being alive and everyone that's around us and you know, what could happen. So it's like, it's a time to not go inside of yourself and think about all the bad thoughts and what this means or anything like that. It's a time to lean on other people and use that group to strengthen all of your bonds and, you know, care for each other and make sure that you all are okay and that, you know, you're down for life now.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you actually brought that up because like at the funeral, I met someone who I didn't know beforehand, but he was a mutual friend, and we had him as a mutual friend, and now he's my barber. So
that's great.
That's exactly, and so we've been hanging out and all that.
Yeah, and I mean, life is a temporary thing, but like those type of reverberations they last for years. You know, this is takes his story to in a new direction.
Yeah, and on a lighter note, I got a quick story. I also just quit my job.
Oh my God!
At the beginning of this month.
Riding more roller coasters than I am.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, I quit my job on the 4th of April, and then I found out on the 14th about my friend.
Mm-hmm.
But my job story is it's a lot nicer.
Okay.
To talk about.
Let's hear it.
So I've been working at this grocery store. Okay. And my boss, I know he didn't like me at all, because he told me multiple times he was gonna cut my hours and all that, and no one wanted to work at the store, so he really couldn't. But one morning I just I really wasn't feeling it. I don't know what was going on with me, but I just didn't go into work, and I knew that with everything he had said beforehand, that when I went in the next day, he was just going to fire me. So yes. I saw no point in going in the next day.
Love it.
They never called me. Yes. They never did anything. And I actually, just 2 weeks ago, I got a bonus check for $5 from them.
Yes!
So, yeah.
Spend it with pride.
Yeah, fuck them.
I used to, my favorite thing whenever I knew it was about to be firing time or me quitting time, I would just take over a bunch of shifts. I would talk to everybody and say hey, can I pick up one of your shifts? And they'd be like, you sure, you want to trade? And I'm like, no, I need extra hours. Oh yeah, I got you, man. I would sign up for 68 hours and then just disappear. Just wait for that check to come. Wait for that W-2 to come in the mail and never talk to them ever again.
Yeah, the good thing about your way of doing it too, that's really great, is getting out of there before. Because if the boss is a total dick, then they're looking forward to firing you. That was going to be
exactly.
Yeah, that was going to be.
I didn't give them the satisfaction of it.
Yeah, because that was going to be their chance to tell you all the bad shit you ever did.
Yes,
and get you out,
chew you out.
Yeah, and anytime. And here's the thing. And this doesn't even just go for bosses. Anytime I can take away your chance to chew me out, that is a big victory to me. Some people might say that it's confrontation averse, but in my mind, we've talked about this a bunch, but just leaving somebody, not giving somebody a tidy ending is really fucking satisfying to me.
Oh no, for sure.
You don't have to fucking, you don't have to, that's a misconception I think even about this show is yes, I've quit jobs with a lot of fireworks, obviously, and it's fun and it's great, but there is another way to do this for people who don't feel they can do it, and that is take away everything.
Yeah, when you duck out on them and you're driving freely in your car while you're supposed to be at work, and then there's two managers that are like, what are we going to do about the Brian situation? You've become a situation now. You're unaccountable, you're AWOL, and they're just now they have to do paperwork about you without your I don't know what I'm saying.
They just don't get anything out of
they
you.
Can't get you.
They
to,
get nothing.
Right. They can't get you to sign exit paperwork. They can't get you to say that I did these infractions. You're just gone.
They don't get to say well, you call in too much and you're too lazy and stuff, because that's what they want to do, dude. They want to fucking tell you all the reasons you're bad. That's the cable company for me was such a.
That's the only reason you become a manager in the first place, right? Is for the superiority complex.
Yeah. And quitting the cable company was so profoundly satisfying to me because I've said it before. I took 3 weeks off. First of all, you should never listen. Managers that are listening to the show to get hints. If somebody takes 3 weeks off work, they're probably quitting.
Yeah, they're burning up time.
It's just so I took 3 weeks off, and the day I was supposed to be back, I showed back up with my stuff and fucking quit. You know what I mean? And it was so satisfying to me because my boss didn't see me quit at all. None of my managers saw me quit. HR saw me quit. And then I did an exit interview and I insulted my boss 3 times. Now, whether or not my boss got those insults on the thing, I said in the exit interview, I'll tell you what I said. And he wasn't there and he didn't get to yell at me. He didn't get to have a comeback. He didn't get anything out of it. I said, I just can't work for a guy that's so much dumber than I am. And they had you write your exit interview out. So I wrote that on my exit interview. And like,
Oh, I hope he got that and just like put it up on his refrigerator, like his little kid's artwork.
Yeah. I was so pissed off at the guy. I just really hated his guts. And like, I just, you know, every one of the questions I answered on that exit interview was pushing like nasty shit at all of the guys that were above me. And then I like left and they didn't get a chance to rebut it. They didn't get anything out of it. They had to mail me my check. Like, that is people, like I said, if you're confrontation averse, that doesn't mean you can't still get one in on your boss on the way out the door.
Different strokes for different folks all the way. Like, you have to figure out what your tactics are. Not everybody is bold or brazen barbarian. Like, there's also thieves. There's also sneaky ass people. You know, there's mentally.
We have a different skill set.
Yeah, you can fuck people up with in your mind. You can send an exit email.
When we were born, we rolled the dice and we got our class. And some people aren't the barbarians or whatever.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't play D&D.
Yeah, me neither. But we do something.
But on what you said though, Brian, it was a Tuesday, and so I think only like the middle manager or whatever, and like one other employee was working that day, so they were fucked.
Yeah, the manager had to stay at work extra late. It's just wonderful.
Right.
It's so great. So, yeah, you did it right. That is the way.
Yeah, congratulations. You did it. Thank you.
You know, they also, before you hang up, I just want to tell you, they probably waited a couple days to see if you quit, too. That's the other funny thing when you ghost them like that. It's like they have no idea if you quit or not.
Oh, maybe he got cancer?
Yeah, can you believe he's not here?
He's maybe a hangover. Like, he might just show up on Wednesday and we can just forget about this.
Have y'all talked to Brian?
Right.
Like, he's asking everybody at work, do any of you text with him? Hey, do any of you text with him or talk to him at all? Because I don't want to think you quit. You know what I mean? So, well, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good night.
And hit break.
One more and then break?
One more and break. Yeah, because we've only taken 2.
I know. We're talking too much.
We're allowed.
Jeez, that was a doozy at there. Like, he really teed us off there.
It's our fucking show.
Right.
We're allowed.
All right, thanks for calling.
These people in the chats, you know.
Street Fight, who are we talking to tonight?
Yo, it's Weed Waffles.
Weed
Waffles.
What's up, Weed Waffles? How you doing tonight?
All right, just giving you guys a quick follow-up to what I told you about the end of the last call, the whole date thing.
Oh, how was your date?
The way that ended up going, just to sum it up, I'll just cut to the main point. I decided to go in the full Weed Waffle mode. So before I walked into the diner where we had breakfast, I took the biggest rip from a pocket vaporizer I had.
Okay.
And then proceeded to walk in and do the date. Now, you're probably asking, how did it go? Actually, pretty well. She said, and I quote, "You're very odd, but very interesting and also humorous, and you keep my attention."
Weed Waffles.
I think you represented yourself very well.
Yeah, I think you're dating me.
You're being honest.
I think of you too.
You're approaching relationships with radical honesty. It sounds like.
Yeah, like nothing says a date's going well like you having a 15-minute conversation over breakfast about car sex.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
God, this is so fucking stupid.
Good job.
Hey, ma'am.
We're supposed to have a second date, so that's the good side. Also, I found out that her baby daddy is somebody I punched back at my old job.
Oh, wow.
See, that
Small
helps.
world. Small world.
That helps, you know? It's like I punched your baby's dad out, and I know you probably hate him. That's a big move. It sounds like you were doing great, man.
But it's kind of a weird dynamic because you have to understand there's also a weird racial dynamic to it because both me and said woman are black, but her baby's father is white.
Here's what.
So to the outside looking in, this is the most Kevin Federline looking relationship I have ever seen.
Yeah, I would say my advice on that is just keep it to yourself. Like, you don't have to tell nobody or spread the word about what you're doing.
I straight up bit my tongue when she showed me.
There won't be any problems.
I bit my tongue when she showed me the picture. I was like, Ice-T in New Jack City. Oh shit, that's that guy I shot. And I was like, nope. But anyway, I want to come to a main point. We've been talking about cops and stuff around here, so I want to stay with the sake of everyone else. I have a two-part question that I'd like to actually hear other people in later calls answer on some level, but it's a two-parter one about the cops. One, what is the most insane in-person sight of police incompetence you saw in person, not like on the cameras, like in person? Because I already know what mine I've ever seen is. It's a combination between the LA riots and Tamir Rice. Tamir Rice obviously being number one. But for me, the one I've seen, that's the first half of the question is, what's the most explicit form of police incompetence you've seen in front of you? For me, that would be the time the police came in to break up was clearly an attempted hate crime of a bunch of chuds in my old neighborhood who were attacking a bunch of people who I don't remember what country they said they were from, but I'm just going to go to the most accurate general assumption and say they're from Southeast Asia. So,
okay,
they were trying to like beat up a bunch of Southeast Asian people. I was told not to get involved by my family who was there. Somebody else called the cops. I don't know who, but somebody else called the cops. I am told just sit on the porch and don't say nothing, don't do nothing. When the cops show up, take your ass in the house. If they tell you to stop, just stand there and wait. You know what the cops do if they show up? First things first, they didn't send LPD. They sent the fucking Eagle County Sheriff. So, red flag number one. They sent the sheriff, not the local cops. That means something has gone completely wrong or somebody has a death wish.
It's sheriff.
Point number two, lucky nobody was shot. But, do you know how dumb it is to see cops before the... Okay, you remember how in the Tamir Rice tape you saw that the cops didn't... The car didn't come to a stop before they got out and started opening fire. We all remember that, right?
What? Yeah.
Like the Tamir Rice tape. Unfortunately, we all remember that, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. How did that relate to... I'm sorry. I didn't get the connection there.
I'm connecting. I swear I am. The reason why I use an example, imagine that, but instead of them shooting, imagine them getting out and immediately punching people.
Okay, just jumping out of the vehicle and punching people?
Like, imagine like that same thing, but instead of like them shooting, they just hop out and start hitting people with nightsticks.
Okay. That sounds fucking wild.
Yeah. I mean everybody. Like, they hit an old man. They hit an old man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the tragic nature of it all is actually quite humorous in this absurd world that we live in.
Oh, no, this is not me being funny. This is me actually trying to be quarter serious right now, because I got the funny stuff out the way off. So.
Well, all right.
What's your next act?
Yeah, what's next?
The second half of it is... What is the dumbest excuse you've heard somebody make defending the cops? And yes, I am going to say I got serious about this because, yeah, Derek Chauvin got found guilty, and I was a little bit worried he was going to get off because a dear friend of mine lives in Minneapolis, so a riot kicks off, her and her kids are in the wave of danger. So, yeah, it's a little bit under my skin, so I was just getting it out here. But what's the dumbest excuse you've ever heard of people defending the cops?
I mean, they all look the same to me at this point. I don't have a top, sorry. You put one, I really don't know how to answer this one.
I mean, they all have the same three arguments. Oh, what if somebody tries to break into your house? And then the other two that I can't forget. Or that I can't remember, but it's always the same three arguments, right? What about criminals? What if somebody tries to break into your house? And what if somebody kills somebody? What are we going to do about people who kill people? That's always the only three of the cops. Yes, somebody in the chat said,
I'm out of it.
If you're innocent, you have nothing to hide. So, there's also that. But hey, Kush Waffles, we got.
Say to everybody in the chat real quick. I just want to say to everybody in the chat real quick. I'm not trying to sound crazy. I just have a shitty mic.
Oh no, you're just crazy, Wee Waffles.
Yeah, we like you. No, we like you.
We like you. We're not gonna let the chat pick on you, Weed Waffles.
You have to put up with it, but yeah, I mean, you're. They don't have the courage to call in and say anything.
Yeah, but hey, Weed Waffles, we got to hit a break here. So it's lovely to hear from you, but we love you. But we're gonna hit a break now.
Oh no, I knew you had to do a break. That's why I wanted to keep it short.
Well, thank you for keeping it short, Wee Waffles. We love you. Have a good night.
All right. All right. Smoke weed every day.
We'll see. Yes, thank you, buddy. Have a good night, Weed Waffles.
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen many awkward cop moments. They're always like assholes. They're just always. I've never in person seen them like have a fail. I'd love to see one try to run around a corner and like slip on some mud or something.
Yeah. I have yeah. I mean, I can never think, especially after last year getting my ass whipped by them.
Yeah. There was
sprayed. I hate them. I just can't even think about them.
During the protests, a lot of them did get owned. There was plenty of moments where like a protester kicked a fucking smoke grenade back and then they slipped and fell and shit. Or they like were trying to push against the ranks and then everybody backed up and then they all fell forward. Yeah. There were some moments.
Yeah, there's some stuff. Well, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll take the rest of these calls.
We got a whole fucking queue.
Yeah, we're gonna have
no more talking.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Let's keep them. What's the word? Concise.
There you go.
We gotta have concise calls. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back as quick as possible. Yes, Mira, the hood on this sweatshirt is very weird, but I just like wearing a hood.
Okay.
So, that's all.
This is Bullet Nurse. This week is the music on Street Fight Radio. They sent this in. It says nice. No, it doesn't. It says, my name is Lee from Tucson. I'm best known for my lighthearted rap stuff, but I also make death, industrial, drone, and experimental electronic. Here are what I think are a few of my best tracks. If anyone would like to check the rest of my stuff, you can go to soundcloud.com/bulletnurse. So thank you, Lee, for sending this in. This is Bullet Nurse. If you make music and you want to hear it on Street Fight Radio and you don't have like a CD Baby account or some sort of shit that's going to flag us on SoundCloud, send it to streetfightradio@gmail.com or contact on streetfightradio.com. We'll be back after Bullet Nurse. Peace.
Looks like shit, smells like shit, must be shit. Needle tip makes a stitch on your lips. Talk shit, get back.
black rappers. Whole squad with me, Phil, Lil, Chucky, Tommy. I don't wear no Gucci, I don't wear no Murakami. Black metal shirt, that's the shit your mom bought me. I got diamonds on me, looking like a fucking swami. Whole squad with me, Phil, Lil, Chucky, Tommy. Bitch, I'm fucked up, catch me walking like a zombie. Smoke that shit that come from Bobby's, put in work just like a commie. Even if you fucking shot me, I'd come back like he's a tsunami. Whole squad with me, Phil, Lil, Chucky, Tommy. Beat your ass like Rocky, knock you down like a tsunami. Got the cheat code, that's why all the bitches want me. Up, down, left, right, BA start just like Konami. Whole squad with me, Phil, Lil, Chucky, Tommy. Popping pills like edamame. He got beef just like pastrami. I stay in the dark like Donnie. Sign my fucking name in kanji. Blow it up like Planet M and then they pick a low and Kami. Whole squad with me, Phil, Lil, Chucky, Tommy. Yo bitch call me Poppy. Eat this dick just like salami. Call your bitch like walkie talkie. Get my nut and watch tsunami. I just can't be copied. Loop this track and keep it popping.
Get your whole squad back and I just caught a couple bodies. And I thought you were the shit until I popped the trunk and cocked the shotty. Now you're going potty, Nosferatu in this bitch on Oxycontin. Popping Molly, astronaut is what they call me. Skull and Bones, Illuminati, stole your girl and hit it raw. I fold her up like origami, touch her toes, she like it naughty. Phone on silent, homie, why you calling, why you crying? If you wanna jump, I'm just the froggy, y'all some bugs, I'm fucking starving. Hardly even trying, I'm the type to start some shit and kill myself just for the hype. Cause all this baby mama drama got me fucked up out my mind. So I be smoking all the time, you got a problem, come and find me. I ain't never trying to hide. My whole squad killers, bitch, your vision getting foggy. You can't see the end is nigh. We dropping bombs and counting bodies, middle fingers to the sky. I got the whole squad with me, Phil, Lil, Chucky, Tommy. Kill the beat like every time I fuck it up, I'm never sorry. Kari.
Open up your morning light, say a little prayer for my. Know that if we are to stay alive, see the peace in every eye.
Hey, welcome back to Street Fight Radio. If you enjoyed the music, that was Bullet Nurse. You can find them at soundcloud.com/Bullet Nurse. Thanks for sending that in. I've got a whole slate of music coming up. We've got a lot of wonderful people that make music that listen to the show, and we appreciate all of you that send it in to share. You know, we'll play anything that you send. It's an open forum for real. But you got to have more than one song. Sometimes people send us like one wave of like a band that they're messing around with, and I'm like, I can't do anything with this. I'm looking for an EP.
We need like 2 or 3 songs.
I need an EP.
Yeah.
All right. Call so far off the wall, wild, long-winded, but now we go into speed mode because it's a full queue. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hello.
Howdy.
Yes. My name is Outer Organism on Twitter, and I was just calling in to say, hey, that was really cool how you guys discussed earlier the problem the gentleman had with his car and such, and how I thought it was really inspiring how you guys really didn't fight about it, but kind of came to an agreement at the end. That was really nice. But I just wanted to also call real quick to mention a podcast I heard a couple days ago called Psychedelic Salon. And on it, they interview a gentleman named William Leonard Picard, who got busted in 2000 for making like planetary quantities of stuff. And he tells his story of just getting released from a double life sentence in prison, that he got you know what I mean, where you get out of prison early. I can't think of the word right now.
Yeah, commuted.
Yes, thank you, commuted. And sure enough, while he was in there, he wrote a 600-page book called The Rose of Percelsius. And this book is the most beautiful, like, poetic journey into the world in which he lived and what got him into the situation and led him up to that point. And I highly recommend listening to the Psychedelic Salon. They're doing a multi-part journey through the book, being read by different people from around the world, each chapter. But the first chapter is read by Leonard right before he was released from prison on 15-minute phone calls from solitary confinement. And I highly recommend listening to him if you guys really want to get a soul shatterer.
Oh, that's what I'm into. Actually, I'm totally into soul shattering stuff. So perfect. Yeah, the chat agrees. They said they have a good backlog of Terrence McKenna lectures as well. That's one of my dudes for sure.
Yeah, you should do psychedelic salon. You got that psychedelic mindset.
I'm living it.
Yeah, you do live it.
Yeah, I'm living it.
Hell yeah.
We all have a beautiful night.
You too, buddy. Have a good night.
Yeah, appreciate the call.
All right, let's get this next one. Let's go. Let's like roll right into them, you know?
Oh, shit. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy.
Wow.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who we talking to tonight?
Oh, shit. It's Brett and Brian. This is the only way I can listen to this show with no lag. What's up, guys? It's Ryan.
Hey, how's it going?
Going good. How about y'all?
Pretty good. I mean, we're doing all right. I'm a little tired, but, you know, I'm going to make it through. So what's going on tonight?
Not a ton of shit. I just wanted to call and talk about a funny time that I dealt with police incompetence.
Okay.
Oh, yay. Weed Waffles be happy.
Waffles hooked you up there.
Yes. So this was something where, and by it's Riku, by the way, if anyone didn't know. Hey. And also, I was in the back of a car, and I was about to smoke with my dealer because I was friends with him. He like lived across the street from me. Really nice guy. Like my family knew him from childhood.
Okay.
So like we were already friends. Yeah, he was a little bit older than me, but like my brothers took baths with them. Like he was like maybe a couple years older than me. But I'm in the back of his car, and we're about to smoke, and all of a sudden, like you see like the cop car pull up lights. We are frozen because like I have like the pipe in my hand with material in it, and I'm like, I'm so fucked. Fucked.
Caught dead to rights.
The lights come up, caught dead to rights. There is no fucking way that like I was gonna get out of this. And so they shine the light in, and they talk to the guy who's, you know, sitting in the front seat, my dealer, and they're like, "Oh, is this your car?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's my car." And he's like, "Oh, you guys just chilling in it?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're just hanging out in it." And he's like, "Oh, that's cool because we've actually had like a couple car break-ins recently, and like we just want to make sure like no one's breaking into your car. As long as yours, it's good." And they just drove away.
All right.
Yeah, that's great.
They had some dirty dope smokers right in their grasp.
They did have you.
They did. They had the gun to my head, and they pulled the trigger, and there was no fucking bullet. And it was, oh God, such a rush.
And then you just smoke a bunch more weed. Every time we ever got pulled over, as soon as the cop went away, we were like, we got to smoke a bunch more weed now.
We got to get over that with weed.
Yeah. It's going to take a lot of weed to get over this.
You got to have the celebration for a second.
It's a good reason. It's definitely a good reason to celebrate. Put something in the air.
Yes, it was. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, I just wanted to thank Brett for the fake Yeezy boost shit today. He gave me a lot of info, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Brett.
Yeah, not a problem. Hope you enjoy your medium pimping lifestyle.
Dude, I need shoes. I wore the fuck out of these ones. I walk like Brian, but like in the house, I pace a lot.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I pace a lot too. Trust me, I'm a pacer and a half.
Dude, I pace so like when I'm on right now, I'm pacing in my garage, but like I pace so bad that I make the animals in my house nervous. I make my wife nervous. It's bad.
Yeah, I can do miles. I can do miles in a living room.
Yeah, I'm a pacer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm big
for
time.
Sure. I have worn holes in carpets for sure.
Let me jump on the phone real quick and go ahead and get some steps in. Through the whole damn house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. anytime I talk to my mom always knew when I was talking to my dad on the phone because she's like, yeah, you were pacing the same path the whole fucking time for like 40 minutes.
Well, thanks for calling in.
Anyway, guys, I'll let you go. Thanks for talking. Appreciate it.
Have a great night.
Hey, man, I got a good tip.
You too.
That I found out.
Yeah.
If you're tripping and you're around a treadmill, walk on the treadmill for like 15 minutes and then get off of that thing, and you will feel like you're flying through outer space.
I mean, I already feel weird when I get off of a treadmill.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're really twisted, then it adds an extra level. You're going to be hogging the treadmill all night long.
True.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling the Street Fight. Who we talking to tonight?
Yo, it's Sick Vic. What's up?
What's up, Sick Vic? How you doing?
Doing all right. I got a dare story, but if the theme of the night is police incompetence stories, so I can either tell a quick dare story or tell the story of how I got knocked out like 3 times in like an hour.
Dare is police incompetence, like in practice.
Yeah, we'll do that one because the other one's just a bummer. So I'm from Calgary, and like the drunk driving here is like a pretty crazy thing. So probably at least once a month in high school, they'll get the whole school in the gymnasium and they'll do like some crazy speech. Like sometimes it's just really corny, but like sometimes it gets like really fucked up. So the one that really was probably the more fucked up one is there was a rumor going around that someone who went to the high school I went to had like died in a drunk driving accident, and the rumor was that the cops bought the wrecked car and they'd go and put it just on the lawn of the high school every now and
Yeah,
then.
that happens all over. That happened in my school. That happened in schools all over the country.
Yeah. Is it always the same rumor that it's someone from the high school? Because I swear
No,
I've heard of
No, that sounds like local lore.
No, I've heard of places saying that 2 students died in a drunk driving accident and put the car on the lawn, and then you find out they're still alive.
No, that did happen. You're right. They pretended that kids died. You're right. They did pretend like there was a horrific traffic accident.
Yeah, because the rumor was that this is the car. Like, this is the car, and the family, like, donated or something. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
we want to make sure
That sounds like
that
kids
it's always a remember. But
mythologizing stuff. But
yeah, it does. No one ever believed it either. But the really funny one is there's this guy called Rob Nash, and he this is kind of like the weird mix of Get Motivated Butt Fest and the Dare Officer. So this guy, when he was a kid, got into like this really bad car wreck and almost died, and he just decided from that moment forward he was going to like dedicate his life to like motivating high school students. And like some of the stuff is cool because he'll like go in and he'll just tell people to be yourself, whatever, all that. But he had this thing where he'd get people to do like the straight edge pledge, where you'd like go with him back into his tour van and you'd like sign this little note to be like, I will never do drugs and stuff.
Cool.
And it's just always so weird. But like look up music. It's called like the Rob Nash Project, and just really like it rocks.
Oh
It's
yeah,
awesome.
I love it. Thanks for the tip.
Yeah, that's all I got for you. I'll head out. I know you're in speed round mode, so you guys take it easy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for
You
calling.
always take her easy.
That is wild, though, that they would bring the wrecked car and just drop it on the lawn at the school, and then you were supposed to be like, "Oh, that's fucked up." That car, you know, like what does it do? You know, we had the prom promise at our school, which was I promise not to do drugs or have sex on prom night, and then you signed the pledge, and then they gave you a T-shirt, and then you went and did drugs and had sex on prom night.
We had the prom promise, but we also had the whole. We did have a whole. We had a whole get together of presentation where kids acted out like what it would be like on prom night if you got into a drunk driving accident. I skipped it though. Like I literally I know that stuff happened, and I remember even hearing people saying like they set up a crashed car.
I was gone. Like
Yeah,
as soon as they were like, everybody's going over here to do this thing in a big crowd, I was like, well, they'll never notice that I'm gone. Like the teachers are just going to assume that I was there, so I'm leaving the school grounds now.
Yeah,
If it's not a classroom situation where they know where I'm at, I'm not here.
Yeah, if you can I never went to an assembly.
No, I didn't all the time.
Yeah,
As
I
soon
was
as
just
I
like,
knew-
I'm out of here, man.
We would laugh because like kids would be walking and going into just start filing into the assembly hall, and then me and my friends would just walk straight and open up the doors and then walk to the outside and then run away from school.
We had an astronaut come to our school that had gone to our high school when he was growing up, and he came and he gave a whole speech, and people were heckling him, and then they stole his jacket.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really funny because the next day on the announcements, they were like, whoever stole that jacket is in really big trouble.
That's a collectible.
Yeah. Well, it was like one of those like, it was like a jacket
Varsity
with all
jacket.
the stuff all over it and shit from NASA. And
it was a NASA jacket.
Yeah, it was like the real.
It was a NASA
thing.
varsity jacket.
Yeah, and this is a motherfucker that's been to space, and
Right.
he comes and he's like, "I want to tell all these kids about space," and then somebody steals his fucking jacket.
Later that night, some Robbie is like smoking a blunt, like, "Yeah, I got the astronaut jacket in someone's garage."
It was so funny, and somebody in the chat said, "Space nerd." That's exactly what everybody was saying in the audience.
Yeah.
It was just like, "What a fucking dork, dude! Who goes
Yeah.
to space?"
Why do you know? You ever do a burnout?
Yeah. Who the fuck? Hey, I went to space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just remember everybody laughing as soon as they said whoever stole that jacket's in big trouble on the announcements.
Did they get it back? You know?
No,
it
absolutely.
was gone.
Dude, I'll tell you
Pawned.
right now, I swear to you on my life, I have no idea who took that jacket. So
It's probably someone probably got freaked and buried it in the woods out in Groveport, Ohio somewhere.
Right. It had to be somebody outside of my purview, which
Sure.
that doesn't, because there were all kinds of bad kids. I was more of like a heavy metal hip hop bad kids, but then there were the redneck bad kids too.
Yeah.
So like the redneck bad kids probably stole it, is my guess. You know,
Somebody. I mean, it's a flag. It's like for all the bad kids, they're trying to get that piece of bragging rights.
I mean, we hated the redneck bad kids. Like, we hated their guts.
Yeah.
But, like,
we had redneck bad kids, too.
I just think, like, well, hey, you know, if they stole the jacket, that's good for all of us. You know, that lifts all of our profile.
Sure. That puts the heat on them. I hope they get caught with it, dumbass hillbillies. All right, next call. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Oh, it's me. Turn it off.
It's you. It's totally you.
Oh.
And yes,
Sorry,
turn it
y'all.
off.
Yeah, I didn't think I would get on. Yeah, my name's Krista, and I know you guys are going through like a speed round, so I'll try to do this as fast as possible.
We got time for you, Krista.
I'm like
we got time for you,
in
Krista.
the middle. Thanks. So I'm like in the middle of a situation with the police right now, oddly, and I'd like some advice.
Okay.
So
Well, one is don't get in a
okay,
situation
let me-
with the police. That's my
is
my
extra
current
innings.
that was my first.
I laid out my whole police philosophy on the first call of the night, so this is extra innings.
That is actually a philosophy that I also ascribe to, and subscribe to, and anyway.
Let's hear it.
Let me set the scene. Okay, so I'm like a 40-year-old lady in North Carolina, and I run a junk building material store. Think Ollie's, but like a lot less successful. We sell cabinets and flooring.
Oof.
I'm not exploiting anybody. I'm not a small business tyrant. I exploit my own labor. It just fucking sucks.
Can I
basically retail?
You find
but
stuff for cheap and sell it for a little bit more.
Yeah, and you're in the worst.
a little bit more. Yeah, it's like flipping, but just I've got a small warehouse that I rent.
I just say you're
You
in
got the scene, right?
You're in the worst business though, because there's nothing you can really take home and use. You know, it's like, oh, I got a bunch of cabinets, great. You know?
Yeah, I got vinyl flooring for
Yeah,
50 cents.
I put a ton of cabinets in my house. It's ridiculous. There's
That's what I
cabinets
would do.
everywhere.
That's what I
Anything
would do.
could take, I did take.
There'd be cabinets in my living room. There'd be cabinets in my basement. It would just be a cabinet house. People would move in the next house, and the next people would move
And they're
into
like,
my
"What
house
is
after I
going
moved."
on?
Yeah, and they're like, "Well, there's a lot of storage here."
There was a guy I knew, a legend of the working class. He worked at Lowe's, and anytime things got discounted or written off, he would buy windows. He would buy all the stuff. He built his whole house with like clearance Lowe's things that he used his discounts on.
Yeah.
And none of the windows were the same.
Yeah.
But they all were like brand spanking new and fucking good. He did the
There's
whole.
probably like some of the fancy ones too that like flip down that you can like wash from the inside. And
Yeah.
all kind, the Lowe's got all the good shit.
Yeah, he wasn't picky at all. He's like, I need a half a dozen. I need a couple dozen windows for this damn house. I don't care what they are. They don't have to match. Just have to see through them.
My neighbor across the street was a big flea market nut. He was way into flea markets, and he would buy building supplies too and just build onto his house constantly. It was just, that place looked like pure shit. But hey, he had what he wanted.
If anybody is looking for something to do, there are tons of hillbillies that make their money selling junk building materials.
Yeah.
Get in there. If you know how to use the computer and use eBay, you can get right in there. Okay, it's easy.
I'm back on it. I'm back on eBay. I've been sifting through junk for a week now, and I'm ready to get back into it. I'm going yard sailing again. Turn this trash into treasure.
Junkyards. You figure like the expensive parts on cars that people don't even know about, like mirrors or something like that. And there you go. Yeah. So anyway, that's my business. But back to my police situation.
Yeah.
I get a call last weekend from the sheriff's department, which is very weird. I mean, I thought it was going to be one of those like just junk calls or something. So I answered it, and he says, "We got a bunch of trash in this dumpster that's been dumped, and there's boxes with your name and your business name all over it.
Oh.
And we're trying to get to the bottom of it, right?" And I'm terrified of the police, okay?
Yeah.
And so, like, again, I'm just like a 40-year-old lady, okay? I'm not trying to have any interactions or whatever. So I capitulate. My first reaction is I capitulate completely, and I say, "Look, I don't live near my store, but I'll be back at work on Monday, and I will totally look into it and try to get to the bottom of this with you. I'd like to cooperate, officer," all this stuff, It was disgusting.
Sir, yes, sir,
anyway.
my trash was improperly placed, sir. Please go away, sir, and don't investigate my life at all, sir.
I gotta say, cops getting to the butt. See, this is the thing about cops, right? Is like, if they were just guys that spent all day trying to figure out who threw trash in the wrong dumpster without like really having any power to do anything about it, I'd be like, fuck it. We don't need to defund the police. Like this is like a big,
Yeah, this is kind of crimes. Yeah, we might,
Yeah, I would let that go.
So that's like Saturday, and then Sunday goes by, and then I'm just like, no, fuck the police. I mean, I don't have to disclose my customer list to anybody, and that's not really, like, they don't really have purview over that. But because I'm a pussy, I was like, I'm just going to hope they don't call back, which they didn't. But I got into work on Monday, and there's a bunch of psychotic messages on my voicemail for work with this guy. I'm not going to say his name, but let's say it was like Chad Chatterson III.
Yeah.
And he says, "This is Chad Chatterson III, architect." Every time he said his name, he said architect after it.
Weird.
And we need to find out about the job site location or something.
That's Joe Biden
right?
doctor shit.
And I was like, I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, anyway, so I was actually just busy on Monday. And I was, Tuesday came around. One of your other callers mentioned a suicide that he's had to go through, and I think a lot of us had to. We just had a friend of ours that committed suicide. And I'm sorry to be dark, but, like, the crucible of grief. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, this seems so unimportant. And so I get back into the office Tuesday morning. He calls first thing. I pick it up, and I am in no fucking mood to deal with Chad Chatterson, the third architect, about his trash issue. So I just tell him, like, no, dude, I'm not giving you any information. The law hasn't called me back. I mean, you can just fuck off with this. I think at one point I said I wasn't going to be part of his Nancy Drew investigation into his trash caper.
Mm-hmm.
And that really just sent him into orbit. So And I let the customer know this. I let the customer know all of this stuff, too, that was going on. And she was, like, agreeing with me and stuff. She was a Bernie Sanders supporter and stuff, so pretty cool. And so nothing happens. And then Thursday, I come into work, and he dumped all the trash at my front door of my store, so I couldn't even open the front door.
Oh, shit.
What is that?
Holy shit.
Shit, an architect did that? Yeah, by the way, I want to tell you the reason he said architect at the end of his name is because he knows like a lot of people want to be architects. So that's like a prestige thing for him.
I don't.
He's letting you know.
I mean, was that what it was? I mean, what if I'm like Krista, building material junk dealer? You know, I mean, who says that?
Yeah, I hate to do this to you, but do you know how they ended up in their dumpster?
So yeah, I do. So I called the customer and I talked to the installer, and like it's a really small kitchen. I sell to poor people; those are my customers. And so it was like not a big deal. And they even gave away like half of their the comical thing was when I saw all the trash that was dumped. At first, I was thinking that they dumped countertops and all kinds of construction trash and filled a trash can up. It was literally enough like cardboard that I could put into my regular recycle bin and my regular weekly bin that we have, which is just it's just like a one that you wheel to the road. It was not a big amount of trash at all. And so that's what really, like, I was like,
yeah, you know.
I mean, I can understand being pissed if, like, you have, like, thousands of pounds of trash or it filled it up or something like that.
Yeah.
I've even rented trash containers. They do cost money, but that wasn't the case. This was just, like, a really small amount of trash. I mean, I cleaned it up. Like, we cleaned it up when we got to work in 10 minutes. It was not a big deal.
Yeah.
So, and I talked to the customer, and I talked to the contractor, and here's the thing. The contractor, he's just like a handyman, you know?
Yeah.
Latino guy, and, like, he said that he was working on this job site, and he went over there. Actually, he said he went over there to take a pee in the porta-john and asked him if it would be okay if he'd throw that trash in, and he did. And so that's his story, and it sounds legit because this guy's picked up from me before. That sounds like what really happened. He's not like, dumping trash around the county or anything like that.
If the trash was in the trash, it made it to the right place.
Yeah, trash
I'm not trash. Yeah, I'm not concerned about how it got there, who it came from. You know what you're actually reminding me of? It's weird. This is a weird happenstance because I was thinking about talking about this at some point, but the biggest comment thread I ever saw on Nextdoor in my neighborhood was a woman threw away some cardboard into a recycling container and she didn't break down the cardboard, and someone went to throw cardboard away and fished their boxes out of the recycling and then wrote them a letter to say that they wrote them aggressive letters saying you need to break down your boxes and like you're a bad citizen, like you're everything that's wrong about the world.
I mean, how much more time does that take than breaking down the boxes, you know?
I don't get it.
The idea that this guy like drove this, I mean, he got into his dumpster, fished out this trash, put it into his car, drove it clear across town because he made sure to let me know that he was building in a rich area.
Yeah.
You know? And like, and he drove it across town, and then at night, like put it in front of my door and this is psychotic behavior, you know?
Right.
I mean, this is like a breakdown of humanity.
But this is a moment where like you're just a player in somebody else's fucking film. Like you just have to figure out how to get your. It's like the same thing as the first call. Like you need to figure out how to get out of this world. You know, like when I've talked, like if police have asked me for stuff, I usually act aloof and say, I don't know. Ask me for specifics. What do you want to know? Like if you ask me directly, I'm not going to volunteer information. Like you found yourself trapped in these weird instances of power that these people wanted. Like you just are the person of the day that they decided they were going to show you what's what. It's the same thing as the Taco Bell story. It's the same thing as the fucking calling the 311. Like it's just that feeling of power, like you did something wrong or like you did something that wasn't nice. I think it wasn't nice what you did, so now you have to pay the price.
And I mean, again, I didn't throw the trash out. I'm going to tell you, he went into orbit because I finally took this phone call from this guy, and it's like he was so upset because he's never been told no. And the fact that he was being told no by me, I think really set him off, you know? Like, he was just, outraged.
No, absolutely.
You know?
No, they want things to go their way. They're looking for a little hit where they just bully somebody and tell, hey, you know what? I've achieved a lot more than you could ever dream of, and I'm going to tell you what your day is.
Because I'm Chipperson Architect.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how your day is going. You don't tell me shit. I shit on you. I show up and throw my cardboard on you.
Yeah. That is so weird.
So I did a thing. So I'm like, so the advice that I need, I might have made it worse, but I called the same deputy that had called me, which had not called me to follow up on this. And he says, to this guy's credit, he's like, I don't know. I went there. It seemed like a really small amount of trash, not even a pickup truck load.
Yep.
And, I had to call you, but he called me back, and I told him that you don't have to give us your customer name. And then he told me that he's done this before. He's tracked down somebody else throwing out trash in his container. And so, so he was doing it before. And I was like, look, I just want to report this guy because I want this to be on record that he's a total psycho. And I'm like, I don't know. And then I Googled his name, and on our local news, he was talking about gentrifying an area that he was moving into because he builds these shipping container type houses.
Stay away.
Yeah, this is a rough neighborhood. He was like, this is a rough neighborhood. I carry a 38 on my hip. And that's at that point I was like, I don't want to antagonize this guy anymore because I'm going to get blown away for some trash that literally took me 10 minutes. But why do I have to be the good one? Why does he get away with that? He is in the wrong. He's been a psychopath,
Yeah, I don't know.
Crazy.
At the end of, the thing that keeps me going at the end of the day is I feel like I'm better than those people. In a way, you have to know that, you didn't indulge power fantasies. You didn't indulge insecurity. You didn't indulge any of these feelings or emotions that come up that would create a circumstance. This is all about cardboard that was properly disposed of. I feel like you just have to know that you interacted with people that you're on a higher vibration level than. Those are monkey people. Those are monkey people. And sometimes you have to deal with fucking
knowing
monkey
that
people.
he is telling this story to his buds.
Oh, yeah.
He's listen here, I don't know what their names are.
Yep.
They're out on a boat somewhere right now, and he's like, and then I dumped that trash right on her door. She couldn't even get in, I told that bitch. I could just see it right now.
No, you're right. No, you're right.
It's
But
making me
it's
insane.
pathetic. The people doing that are pathetic. That's why you're saying it like that. They're pathetic. They don't know they don't have any real understanding of anything. They're living on very temporary pops of power and dominance and all that stuff. And it's not fulfilling. It's not a fulfilling life to feel like you always one up some people, cooperating.
I know, but he probably told this story on a boat. I'm telling it to y'all right now. I want to be on a boat.
Me too.
We'll hook you up.
Sorry.
We'll put you on the first list of boat people.
You can use our boat.
There's a lot of working class people that need to go on a boat tour. Maybe we'll do the first Street Fight cruise and get the most of you that have suffered.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's true.
Sounds amazing.
Let's do the Street Fight cruise. We'll get you on there. I just watched a movie about those people stuck on that cruise ship at the beginning of COVID. Did not seem like a good experience. We'll never get on
that. That does sound good. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like a 40-minute documentary on HBO Max. But there is this part of this documentary where this woman has been on a boat for a month because they wouldn't let them off. And they don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? They have no idea. It's the very first days of COVID. So they don't fucking know how it spread. They don't know who has it. They're not testing everybody. But every time they do test people, they're like, we got another 43 cases on this boat. And this
Oh,
woman's
no.
giving an interview at one point, and she goes like this, and it just, this line will stick with me for the rest of my life, and I'll never stop thinking about it. She's like, yeah, I've been talking to my family at home, and they asked me, am I going to ever go on a cruise again? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going on one in May. And I was just like, you know what? I know she
Can't
didn't
give it up.
I know she didn't go. Listen, she was not going to let this experience take her down. And part of me looked at her and said, you know what? I would have said I'm never getting on a motherfucking boat again in my entire life.
Yeah.
You know? So you got to kind of look at this person and be like, okay, you know?
Yeah,
this is something
perseverance.
to look up at, look
Yeah.
up to. But
I'll have to save it for another night. But we got a good cruise ship story to the customer that we had to deal with. They're a whole different species. It's like a whole different type of branch of people.
they're like Disney people. Disney adults, weird
Anyway.
people. Well, thanks for calling in.
So I just get the satisfaction of being on a higher vibration. I think that's what I already figured, but
Well,
man.
I mean, even look at all those rich ass people that can't, like, all they want to do is interact with us. Like, they just want to be a part of our world, and they never will know what it's like to be on the other side of their fucking bullshit. You know, like we forever get to have our camaraderie, you know, with like the vast number of people, like the majority of people. Like that's what we get in return.
It's true.
Yeah, we're better.
All right,
than
thanks,
them.
y'all.
We're better than them.
Thanks for calling.
Sorry to say it out loud, but we're better than them.
We are, for sure.
We know it. We're not flaunting it. We're trying to convince people to go in a new direction and catch the hints. But yeah, I mean, sometimes like in those situations, like it's like when someone yells at you and someone tries to debase you know, like I can't be touched in that way. So then I feel bad for people now, you know, that like try to come at me like that. It's like, wow, your life is just so like pathetic. Like it's just pitiful that you've turned a little extra recycling into like a whole debacle. Like I feel bad about that. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta watch that cruise ship doc, man. It's fucking wild.
Sounds like it.
It
I mean,
sucks.
I love cruising too.
This fucking poor guy, man. Here's the other thing. There's this poor guy from Indonesia. That's his first. He got a job. He was like, I want to see the whole world. You know, I read about a cruise ship on the internet. I never saw one. And I just was like enraptured by the whole idea. And then by the end of the fucking movie, by the end of this documentary, he's totally fucking disillusioned with the cruise ship industry, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, he's just like, this shit is not great.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Am I on the air?
You are on the air.
Right now?
Yes.
Oh, hi. I didn't think this moment would come.
Here it is.
So I'm going to skip I'm going to keep this short because I know you're trying to move it along.
You can take your time.
Sorry, I'm like slightly nervous, which is weird because I talk on the phone for a living. So,
well,
I think it was it you, Brian, who said recently, like, you're going through the divorce, right?
No, that's Brett.
Sorry, that's Brett. Sorry, I mixed you guys up. I'm really bad with the names. I have
Me
like
too.
horrendous
It's fine.
anxiety in the moment for some reason.
Hey, I wouldn't
But,
worry about.
anyway, continuing.
I am the worst with names. So one of the things I try to do on this show
But
is
also it's B's. You guys both have B names, so
BR.
that's
BR.
it's rough.
Yeah, for
BR,
sure.
yeah, it's a double whammy. It's a brain trickle anyway. Okay, continuing. So you were talking. I also went through a divorce like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And you said this thing that was like, it resonated with me so much, dude, how you said your issue with romantic love is that it's conditional and you have this like boundless, I don't think that was the word you used, but it was a vibe I got, and I'm starting to like kind of bounce up and down and like, sorry, I'm kind of like fidgety because I'm getting excited
fine.
about what you said.
No,
It's like
boundless
you have
is
this like boundless, unconditional love for humanity, and that you have an issue with romantic love because it's like conditional. I just love a lot of the things that you have to say about, like, even the dude that called about the scam that came up. He was like trying to scam people with the property damage accidents for money. And you were like, you know what? I don't hate on that guy. I just hate that he's like in that position, that he feels that hard up that he's got to do that. I just fucking love that attitude. So I wanted to like thank you because there's not enough of that in this world. I feel like there's a lot of just fucking toxicity towards people just like from the get-go. We like suspect everyone of being terrible off and just like, I mean, part of it's like growing up. I'm 30. I just turned 30 this year. And so growing up in like the post 9/11 world, it's like you can hardly remember like a time before that just being the default attitude. And okay, so moving along, keeping it on point here. I'm gonna skip that one. No. I might give away my identity, or actually, fuck it, whatever. Okay, when people, I think it was the last person or the person before, I think it was you also said the attitude of like, just kind of like, I feel bad for you when people attack you about like petty shit. Also, thank you. Like, right. I just fucking hate like, because I think it sends the message to somebody like low key, because it might like ruffle their feathers like inadvertently, because they're like, damn it, I couldn't get them. But anyway, maybe it's like, well, wait a minute, maybe that's like a waste of my energy, you know?
Yeah, you have
so
to
I should just let it go.
Yeah, you have to figure out when you're going to engage. I mean, at my point, at this point, I've seen most things, and you know, I can just disengage from stuff, I guess, or you know, I don't know. I just try to move in a way to be friendly and to not distrust people. And when it comes to situations that other people would say were dangerous, or like you shouldn't be around these people or whatever, like if you treat anybody with kindness, like they don't take advantage of you. Seriously, like they don't try to get one over on you.
Yeah, dude.
If you are friendly and listen, you know, if you listen to people, if you acknowledge them, you know, they tend to become friendly very quickly.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like, I feel like this is a super, I don't mean to like talk bad about humans or like draw this, if somebody like thinks this is like a negative parallel to draw, but it's like, if you ever, I also am a walker. I am the .walkiest.lady on Instagram, just to go ahead and give myself away. I also fucking walk for hours and hours a day. So
what numbers do you put up?
Down with that.
Uh-oh. What are your numbers?
Right now we're at 25,000, or I'm sorry, 25,877 for this glorious Sunday.
Where am I at?
What's your average?
Anyhow?
I'm at 28,106.
Ooh. On average, I'm not that high right now. I also broke my femur the same day George Floyd was murdered by the police. So we're still recovering from that. So we've been slowed down a little, but anyway, I think that was pretty much, no, there's like so many things I want to talk to you about, but then I would just fucking take over the entire thing, and I don't want to do that to you. So
well, thanks for calling in.
Thank you for calling.
I stopped myself before I totally get carried away.
You know, I want to share this with you because I was gonna shout it out on the show anyways. But this person on Twitter, NARECNITSI Bow, they have Bugs Bunny and like the girl outfit is the avatar. They sent me this podcast called Solo, and it's about a guy that is like single, radically single, and you know, does a show for people that find themselves on the other side of a divorce and don't know if they want to have relationships in their life ever again. And it like debunks some of the science that says like marriage is the key to happiness, and it kind of empowers people to go and be themselves and take advantage of all the opportunities that come from like going your own way. And yeah, it's like I don't know if I will find myself in a romantic situation. I really enjoy spending time with people and letting that erupt into erotic situations, and I don't need to tie it down. Like it's just like it's as it comes. I'm living my life and I feel comfortable where I'm at. So thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed talking to you guys, and yeah, I'll avoid talking any further, but thank you so much for taking my call, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Peace out.
All right, take care, bye.
Nice.
Good call.
Man, oh, great call for
Gee,
you.
yes, we should. I got a round of applause.
Yeah, I didn't get no applause on that one.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Someone also called it. Someone also pointed out my piebald reference from last week, which was nobody gets that, but you know I appreciate it. The folks that reach out and let me know you heard what I said. You know, Brett fam. All right, we ready to round these out? I think we got enough time. Oh yeah, we're good to go. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
You talking to me?
Yep. Yeah.
You tell us.
We're talking to you.
Hey, sorry. So I'm in the Midwest, and I just wanted to. Number one, I love you, Brett.
Thanks. I
You
appreciate it.
But I'm normally the drunk guy calling in, so I'm trying not to do that tonight.
But I've had a few myself.
Yeah.
I had a couple 8%ers.
The drunk guy.
So I'm vibing.
But
it's all good around here.
So sorry for making you wait. I got my shit together, more or less. But I work with the biggest fucking piece of shit I could ever work with.
Yeah, we hear that a lot.
So she's a vet and a former cop and a former prison guard.
Ooh,
So,
oh my God. Tough customer.
And literally, if you want to be talked down to, this is the person that would be the person to talk down to you.
Do they let you know you don't understand what it's like out in the real world?
Yeah, no. She has denied COVID, but also been well, everyone's stupid for not getting the vaccine.
Wow.
That's the kind of shit that I'm dealing with, and I'm like, you have no ideology,
right? Just
behind you.
You're taking the position of I can call people stupid. People that don't wear masks are stupid. People that don't get vaccines are stupid. Everybody is stupid besides me.
People that wear masks are, in fact, stupid,
right,
according to her. So, yeah, nah, but it's been rough. I really like the job that I'm doing, and all my other coworkers are around my age range. But this one coworker is fucking insane, and I don't know what to do about it.
I mean, I would say when it comes to a job situation, you have to remember that they're on the same grounds that you are. So, if they're going to blow up and be weird and stuff, you can use that against them. But, in this situation...
Well, and I've tried to do that, but she's also best friends with the boss.
Yeah.
So...
you're going to have to just work around it. There's no way to... if they've cemented themselves in that place, they have the worst kind of ideology and attitude in a customer service or work environment. They're going to be bootlickers for the boss. I don't know. That's tough.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Brad.
Yeah.
No, literally the dumbest person I've ever worked with.
I mean, once again, I gotta say, going back to the last call, just know that you're a better person. Just go to bed at night and just think I am a better individual than this motherfucker at work. Like, I literally know, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I got here, and it all doesn't make any sense. But this fucking piece of shit at work, I know that I'm not that fucked up.
That kind of situation sucks, though, because, like, you know that you can't have a blow up.
No.
So
you have to
just kind of
tread lightly.
Yeah, you have to kind of just be like, well, like,
thing,
yeah, you just have to be kind of like, well,
Like-
I'm gonna just let this person say what they want.
Tell them to fuck off, and that would be the end of things.
Right.
But no,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
again, she's friends with my boss, so she got my spot moved to be right next to her spot.
Oh.
So, like, every time I fuck up, she just fucking funnels down on me. So,
yeah. I mean, ugh. I don't know. That sounds like one of those situations you might have to get out of. It just might be your time. Sometimes you don't want it. You know, I learned this with my relationship. Sometimes you don't know it's time to hit the road, but, you know, you got to gather up your shit and get out of here. You know, I don't know. That's really tough. For me, I think that, like, something that I do know to be true is that humans are a narrative animal, and that, like, we have an internal monologue with ourselves that is like the reality that we go back to reference everything and what's right and true. And that if you can consider this a way to, like, fuck with that person or make their job difficult, or
I
like,
do all my best to fuck around at work. Like,
I mean,
I listen to Street Fight, so I know the ways to fuck around at work.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's all you got. I mean, that's all you got. I mean, you got to fuck with them the way that you can.
All right. I appreciate it, Brian.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
Right. Have a good
We'll get
night.
off the phone.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing about it is, like, you know the misery that you can sign up for. If you're willing to go work with that person, if you're willing to go back to it, just eat it. Like, just smile. Just at least take ownership that, like, this is what you're going to do to make your money today is deal with this fucking person. And if that's not going to work for you, like, you're going to, because they seem more permanent at this point, you know? Like, you're going to have to find something else.
Yeah. I mean, I worked with plenty of assholes
all
like
the time.
that, you know?
I'm the favorite. I've been the favorite worker wherever I've been because I don't talk shit. I don't talk back. I don't interject anything. I show up, I have headphones on, and everything that you want to be done is done. Like, there's nothing else about it.
Yeah.
When I clock out, that's the end of my shift. I don't think about this place.
Yeah.
Like, after I clock out, I have nothing to do with this world anymore. You know?
Yeah.
If I'm doing a time card system, for sure. Like, it's over.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Fucking with those people is the best that I've ever been able to do.
Yeah. That's kind of it. You just got to figure out a way to get under their skin.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Yo, this is Pat Squatch from the Ozarks, but I'm calling from I-90 somewhere near the Pennsylvania border.
All right.
Oh, well, the Ozarks is in Missouri. Like how I said.
Yeah, I'm a Missouri boy. Missouri is more actually, that's like the southern pronunciation, but that's like the central part of the state because that's Little Dixie. That's where all the slave planter class lived in the 1860s. So where I'm at, it's Missouri mostly. So
okay.
So
the correction.
I'm calling at, what is it? It's 11:30 here. I'm calling like just a few hours shy of a 100-hour work week on the clock. I'm like just over halfway to driving to Boston to deliver this project that I've been working on for over a year now.
Oh my gosh.
To a client who is a rich artist who's fairly notable, and he gets to take all the credit for it from the end client.
Wow.
Well, I did all of the fucking work, including like the design, most of the design work and everything, welded on this fucking thing, foamed. It's just a fucking, I don't know. So anyway, I took this job like 3 years ago, absolute dream job, getting to do environmental education stuff, building dioramas and models and learning all kinds of cool stuff. And I'm just burned the fuck out, man. What the fuck do I do when you just like burned out on your dream job?
Oh, well, let me tell you. You got to take time off if you can. I mean, I know that's hard to do when you're doing what would be considered your dream job. But when I get burned out, I pare back my work. You know, sometimes I get really burned out and I'm like, I'm only going to do the 3 shows this week. I'm only going to do just the 3 street fight shows and then take all the rest of the days off and then, you know, slowly add back to where I'm doing stuff. But I get burned out all the fucking time. And, you know, it's about trying to take some of your time back, because when a lot of times when you're working for yourself or when you're working a dream job, you basically end up just working all the time. And that's why you got burned out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this whole thing, I mean, this last year it's just been, I mean, it's been brutal for fucking everybody, you know, but like I work for everybody I work with didn't take COVID seriously. So I just been locked away in my own workspace for this whole time. So I had to handle this whole thing. Like everything we do is collaborative, but this project ended up being me front to back pretty much.
Yeah.
And now they all think I'm a fucking madman because I've just like taken on this hermetic lifestyle, you know, locked away down here. And it's been fucking ruining my marriage. It's been ruining my health, my mental health, you know, and I finally get to deliver it this week, but I got to like look this guy in the face and work around him for 4 or 5 days without like spitting on him or punching him in the fucking mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, my advice on this is like, I mean, what you're doing is skill building. Like, I wouldn't be too spiteful or feel too bad about it. Like, you've built a good part of your resume and you have a lot of knowledge that's come from this. Unfortunately, the project manager does get all the credit. Like, that happens across all job platforms. And I would say that if you've been doing the 100-hour weeks and like you've shown the drive and dedication to make a big project come off over a few years, and you want to switch it up, I would just find a way to utilize those skills that you have now. Like you just start looking in different sectors.
I thought about that, but I'm like an hour. I work hourly and I work for family, so I can't just like pay. I feel just stuck as fuck, man. I live out in the middle of nowhere because the job is out in the middle of nowhere. Man, so if I took a job somewhere else, I'm driving somewhere. I don't have the tools or the shop space at my place to go solo.
But like if
I do need some time off, but fuck.
Yeah, I mean, if the family is the way that you make money, though, they're going to be in charge on like how you make money. Like you have to just like take it on. It sounds. I mean, you shouldn't be overextending yourself for sure. And you probably, if you're going to stay in this. For me, I also sometimes put in very long days and I wish somebody saw them and they don't. And nobody knows like some of the ways that I exert myself in an extra way. Like it'll never be appreciated. But you should at least, if you want validation and you want, the company to recognize what you're doing, you definitely should say like, I've put in a lot of extra effort. I've been like staying up all night working on this thing, and try to find some sort of recognition otherwise.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna leverage it into getting off the road. My problem is like I'm the guy who is the road dog. You know what I mean? Like I'm the one with the widest skill set. Everybody else is a specialist, and I'm a generalist. So I'm always the one who goes on the road to do all the install stuff.
But road dogs retire.
I'm not
road
good
dogs
at
retire.
anything.
Road dogs retire, and then they have a crew of road dogs that they show how to do the thing. Like you have value.
That's what I need.
You have value. You have information. You have everything to share with other people. So if you can display that, like, I feel like I would be better served staying here and showing other people how to drive other places and make us a ton of money. You know, like that's a foot in
My
the door.
problem is I'm not good at anything. I'm just like a problem solver. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I don't have necessarily the skills innately, but I'm the guy who can like, oh, we're fucked. So how do I fix this with limited supplies and limited time? You know.
That's actually
I don't know. I just wanted to vent, man. I've been.
It's rough, you know.
I was actually riding through Columbus earlier, about 8 o'clock, right as I was saw the Columbus skyline. You guys came on. Last week's episode came on my playlist, and I realized it was Sunday night, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna call in and vent." I'm, stressed out and strung out. These boys don't understand.
You're doing the right thing, man. You know, like. These type of circumstances only you will ever be able to appreciate, but like, you know, the heart and soul you put into it. You saw the person that took the credit for it, but like you have to just be comfortable knowing that you accomplished a lot with this, right? And just be done with it.
Right. Well, and that's just listening in, talking about existing on a higher vibrational plane and being the better person and shit like that. That was all very helpful advice. And I want to say one thing, and like Hank from LA, if you're listening, dude, I'm the biggest mark in the fucking world. I can't step a foot in a new city without getting taken, and I don't ever get to call the cops. And if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
So don't fucking call the cops if you get scammed. Especially don't call the cops if you get away from a scam. So
right.
I thought that was you handled that very well, Brett. So
also,
kudos to that. You guys mind if I plug my podcast while I'm on here? Because that's something else I pour a bunch of fucking time on.
Go for it, but don't. Here's the thing: don't let them rip you off. Just be like nobody on the street.
I just
nobody on the
I
street.
always find out. I always realize it as soon as it happens. You know, like.
Here's the thing: nobody that's just on the regular street. You don't owe them any money. It's the way I always think of it.
This is the way I think of it. If you've got a good enough one and you get me, I'm gonna fucking pay you.
Yeah.
Like some dude in New Orleans a couple years ago got me with a shoe shine thing, and I was like, all right, well, fuck. I gotta, like, you got me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I know. It's like, I bet I can guess where you got your boots. I'm like, no, you can't. Like, you got them on your feet. It's like, all right, motherfucker, you got me. Here's $30. And he shined up my cowboy boots real nice. So,
well,
you know.
That's a service.
Hey, you got your boots signed.
But I don't know, man. We got a podcast called Hoot and Holler. We're like regional Ozarks, kind of like trillbillies, kind of dirt bags with bleeding hearts kind of deal. We just talk about politics and culture, and we talk about the Ozarks and shit. And if anybody wants to check it out, you can find us everywhere at Hoot and Holler Pod. And I really appreciate y'all taking my call. You guys have a good night. I'm so glad I got through to you here at the end.
You too. Have a good night.
I love hooting. I love hollering.
I'm a hooter. I'm a hollerer. You know.
My dad used to always say, y'all are hooting and hollering like hillbillies at a card game. Like, that's when he was real mad we were being too loud. He would sometimes hit us with that one.
I love to hoot.
Classic.
I love to holler. And
last call. We made it in time. And appreciate everybody that's called in so far.
You're all so wonderful.
Let's do this.
Let's get this call.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey guys, this is Bobby. How are you?
What's up, Bobby? How you doing?
Hey, I'm just hanging out on a Sunday night. The last caller as usual.
Hell yeah.
Good work.
Hey, we love to be the last caller.
Someone has to be.
They do. Every week there has to be one last caller.
So, literally everyone before me has touched on something that I wanted to talk about.
Perfect.
Waffle talked about the incompetent policing.
Uh-huh.
And so I work at a store. We sell alcohol and cigarettes. And the one morning, I'm opening up, whatever. No big deal. And a motorcycle cop rolls up. And I'm like, regular cops I don't care about, but like motorcycle cops for some reason like are scary as shit to me.
Sure. They have a uniform. They have the leather gloves and boots and stuff. They seem like way more like shock trooper.
Yeah, and like, you know, they wear sunglasses and the big helmet and shit. Like, it's, you know, so he rolls up and parks, and I'm like, oh, he's doing like a speed trap in front of our store. I don't, you know, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But he walks in and he goes, oh, I had this thing from the LCB. Like, apparently someone sold like cigarettes to an underage person, but like they didn't give us any description.
Okay. So they were just looking for someone to like say I'm guilty of a crime.
Like, maybe, but it sounded like he didn't really even care. It was so weird.
Yeah, I mean, but it is like, what are you supposed to say? Oh, yeah, I did actually. Oh, now that you mentioned it, yeah, I sold cigarettes to a minor. I was meaning to call you about that.
Like, I was literally like, he gave me like a description of someone. I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds like everyone who works here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know
like,
what... I don't know what they're trying to get. I don't know. I guess you're fishing, like I said, for someone to just put their hands together and get cuffed up.
Yeah, like, what, are you going to drag me across the front counter? I mean, that's fine, but whatever.
Sure.
No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, I was like, he said it was like someone like 26 to 40 years old. I'm like, yeah, that's literally everyone who, I told him, like, that's everyone who works here. Like,
yeah.
But, yeah, it was a very odd interaction. Like, very just like, okay, I don't really care, but, you know, go on your day.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well,
yeah, and
go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I had a major spill. People in the chat saw it. I spilled water, so I'm chasing it down. So I'm sorry if I seem like
I'm looking. There's one empty seat right now that I'm looking at.
Yeah, Brett had to run out, and I've been fucking around with this water, so we're
shit, that sucks.
We're lost. You know, we're falling apart here at the end of the show.
Oh no.
Yeah, the wheels are falling off.
All right, let me try to make this more quick for you guys so you can wrap that up.
Okay, go for it.
So someone also, when you guys mentioned like next door.
Yes, Brett is on next door,
which is such a fun,
which I love too. I go on next door all the time.
It's so funny, man. So in my area, we have for the speed limit, we have things that are painted on the road like 25 miles an hour. And there was one post where some lady was like, what gang is MPH 25?
No fucking way. For real? Yeah. Well, I mean,
Dude,
they do think that, I mean, the thing I get when I go on Nextdoor more than anything is people think there are a lot more gangs than there actually are. I mean, like, I think there are people who think that like there is a gang running their neighborhood, like every neighborhood in the city or every street. Like, I'm sure there are people that go on Nextdoor regularly that are like, I wonder whose turf my street is. You know?
Yeah.
We're like it. I think if I remember correctly, like this area was literally right next to the police station.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what do you like? I'm like, what is your thought process? And someone's like, oh, do you mean like the speed limit that's supposed to be like the school zone thing? Like, oh, it's so funny. I have a screenshot of it. I'll look it up and send it to you guys.
Yeah, send that. That's really fucking funny. It is so wild.
It's very good.
I read a Nextdoor thing on the show a couple weeks ago where this person was like, "These fucking there's a bunch of cigarette butts, some Tide Pods, and some beer cans out in front of my house. I'm kind of worried about what's been going on outside." And it's like, somebody just cleaned their car out in front of your house, dude. Don't fucking stress, okay?
Yeah, we don't need to investigate that.
Yeah, this is not an investigation. Somebody dumped all the trash out of their car. And you know what? When you live in the city, people do that.
Yeah.
That's just part of life in the city because, you know, people are still selfish and awful, and we just all do things, you know?
Yeah.
I don't throw my trash on the ground, but I will use your trash cans. And architects hate, that's one weird trick that architects hate.
Well, the theme of the show really is that, like, the world is oriented in a way that I know why people don't have the time to not do anything besides just throw their trash on the side of the road when they're done with it.
Yeah, and I mean, some people just do it because they're assholes. I mean, that is a real asshole. Mostly that's
But they're
an asshole
hurting.
move.
Yeah, I know. It's all hurting people.
Sure, I guess. I mean, you can also pull up to a car wash and dump your
You're a
trash.
cop,
though.
man.
I'm not a cop. I'm
You
just
don't
saying
even
there are some
rule
things that
shit.
we have to start doing.
Yeah, you're a real rules guy. You're about to take a whole fucking pickup truck full of cardboard and throw it on somebody else's front step.
Hey, he didn't involve the cops. So if you want to do that, hey, you know, if we're all gonna fucking get up at each other's grill without getting the cops involved, I'm 100% okay with that.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
I mean, architect didn't do nothing wrong. He called the cops, and we all end up, you know, sometimes living on this planet, living in a society, as the Joker says. We all have to like. We're all gonna bump up against each other sometimes, and
Yeah.
I'm totally fucking okay with people bumping into each other. I mean, if you dump your trash in my front yard, it's like I'm not gonna fucking call the cops or anything
Yeah.
like that. It's just like, bro, let's not do that. You know, let's be nice to each other. You know, we do have to expect some amount of decorum from people.
Sure.
I guess, in a way. I'm not like Aaron Sorkin decorum. Like, don't throw your trash in my front yard. Decorum. It's the most minimal amount, you know?
Yeah, that sort of reminded me so much of the place I used to live at. So like I used to get like drunk all the time or whatever.
We all do
And I
that
would,
still.
You know, that's what we do.
Currently doing that.
So like, yeah, I'm drinking something right now, but I would only drink Rolling Rock because it was like the cheapest thing. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
And I remember the one time the business who had their dumpsters right at the bottom of the steps. So I just like open it up and toss the case in.
Uh-huh.
I woke up the one morning and all I hear is like, oh, we have to find Mr. Rolling Rock. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like, what is this? I woke
You
up
got
and
a
I heard that,
nickname.
and like I did, yeah. And then I was like, you know, I like listened to it, and then eventually they call like the maintenance man for the building in because they had to figure out what to do with all the Rolling Rock cases.
Hey, you know, all you can do is adjust, you know? You just change the thing.
And now you can go into any club in town and say, hey, I'm Mr. Rock. Rolling Rock. They know me.
I changed my name in the group chat to that for a while, and no one else understood it. It was very good.
Well, I'm glad you got a name. Rolling Rock was a bold choice. It was also like a sophisticated choice in my younger days, so I appreciate that. The green bottles meant that you had to get it now because it was going to go bad, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be my go-to at the one bar I go to all the time, or used to go to all the time. And, you know, it kind of translated well, I guess.
I'm a Rolling Rock man.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling in, Rolling Rock, Mr. Rolling
Thanks
Rock.
for calling in, Mr. Rolling Rock.
Have a good evening.
You too. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, hey.
Appreciate it.
Anytime. All right. It's
Great
time
call-in
to
show.
Time to go home and Twitch for the rest of the night.
We're a little early. Let's do some mail stuff.
Mail time. Here's the mail. It never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail. Mail!
All right. P.O. Box 82306, Columbus, Ohio. This one comes from Shoop JPG, if you've seen them on Twitch.
I want to shoot.
Also, I'm a knife guy as well, just so you know. I've got my trusty box cutter.
You can take down an airplane with one of these things. You don't need
That
nothing
is
else.
true. You can take down an airplane and 2 skyscrapers with one of those things.
All right, we got
and Building 7. Even though there's a lot of controversy surrounding that.
The 33 1/3 Pretty Hate Machine.
Oh, I love the 33 1/3 books. I will read that.
That's a good one. This is addressed to both of us. There's also something here.
That's probably mine. The book.
Oh, it's a print of something.
I'm known as a reader.
Intense. It looks intense.
Well, we're getting a new studio, so we'll need prints.
Oh, it's police fighting.
Each other?
No. Just police violence.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Just a
that'll
constant
go
reminder.
in the, that can go in the studio, man. The new studio.
All right, let's get in here. We got a little one of these good envelopes that has the string that wraps around.
Oh, I like those. I do
That's
like those.
Some 18th century ass shit. Oh, it's a big long letter. Oh, okay, I can't read this. This is a lot. Well, thank you, Adam, for writing in, sending us stuff. This is a lot of stuff here. I can't read. On to the next one. This one is from Dylan. Dylan sent us candy.
Oh, I'm off candy, but let me take a look at it.
These are, I don't know what these are.
I might be back on candy.
It says
Dylan.
Tory Howard on them. What is Tory
Howard?
Howard candy? Here they come. Sorry.
It's hard candy. Looks like it's pear, Donju pear, and cinnamon. Try it, Brett.
It says, "What's up, dudes? Y'all's podcast helped get me through lockdown, so I made this patch for you. Please don't sue me for using your logo. I only have a poor dad."
You
All right.
can use our logo, but you cannot use our Legos.
This one's cool. So there's a Street Fight logo, leather patch, and then there's also a really cool flower.
Okay, right
I'll
on.
probably use the flower one. Let me try the candy.
Not the Street Fight one. He'll tell the Street Fight one.
This
to
is
go
one
shit in the hat.
blood orange and honey. All right,
Go
so these
shit
are my
in
right
the
kind of
hat.
flavors. This is not old school at all. Blood orange and honey is.
Oh, you thought it was old school flavors like black licorice or chicken?
Yeah. I was looking for like a bouillon cube. I was looking for like a yak berry, something like that. Just is disgusting.
This is some onion candy. That's what they love. Kids loved onions back in the Depression.
I'll take a red bean. I like red bean candy.
Gross.
That's the way to my heart, really, is red bean and green tea candy.
You mean like Boston baked beans?
Oh, I like those too. They're a treat.
I don't think anybody likes those, but yeah.
Hey, peanuts on their own, they're a hit. They're fucking fireworks.
Peanuts are a hit. I will agree with you. Peanuts are a huge
Center
hit.
stage. Oh my gosh, I can't get enough of. I live my life by peanuts.
Cashews are
okay.
I like cashews better, but I mean, you just throw nuts out there. Period, unless it's like pecans,
Right?
Which
but
are good in stuff, but
here's
not
the thing.
alone.
Peanut basic. You can step up to a macadamia. You can step up to a cashew, walnut, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But then you take a regular old peanut, you wrap it with that weird ass red shit that they put on it for Boston
What is that?
baked
I'm
beans.
looking up the flavor now. I'm looking
now
up
we got
what that
something
flavor
going.
is.
This one I know what it is. This is from our good buddy Aubrey Sitterson.
Oh, is it? Is it Beef Bros?
It's Beef Bros.
Oh, I'll look at that.
I bought the retailer pack.
Oh, so we can sell some?
Yeah, so if you had to
or
store...
give some away.
No, if you had to store.streetfightradio.com, you can buy them. Or I'll send them. We can send them to people.
We're selling Beef Bros. I'd actually like to take one of those to my house.
Maybe we'll send them to the people that called in tonight.
I'd like to take one to my house and have.
The Beef Bros. Great comic. I love Aubrey.
We love Aubrey. He's a sweet, sweet man.
Yeah, and everything that he does. And,
What flavor... Hold on, before we get off, because we can't leave with that, what's the word? With that teaser.
The candy's good. I mean, I like hard candy.
Boston.
Especially when it has a generic-ass name of just hard candy. This is perfect. It softens up, and then you bite into it. It's kind of got that creamy center. That's what I like about hard candy is the softness when you break into the crust. And this delivers on that.
Okay, so the bean
Blood orange is a good flavor.
The Boston baked beans candies. Oh my God! They don't have. First of all, the nuts aren't roasted.
Okay,
that's something I've learned.
I can deal with that. I do raw nuts all the time.
I know, but it's just an odd thing. The fresh. It says it's earthy. I don't know. I think Boston baked beans are just
red. It tastes like red, like the good red stuff. Red sugar.
Yeah, it says they just taste like. I guess it's just sugary fucking nuts.
Okay, then this is the next one I got here. What is the name of this again?
Oh, it says
Tories and Howard. I got the lime. I'm trying the lime. Yeah, I mean
chorizo and lime.
No, I have the lime, just regular lime.
Oh, chorizo and lime would be good though.
It's a good switch up. Yeah, Boston baked beans. It's kind of like candy apples. What is candy apples flavor? It's just like colored sugar. It's just extra oomph. You know, this is the only reason that I got divorced was because I used to say that sometimes sugar or sometimes fruit needed a little bit of extra help.
Yeah.
And I always get in an argument with Erica about it. But like sometimes this fruit doesn't deliver. An apple is not fucking sweet, but if you dip it in this red ass sugar, and all of a sudden like it opens up these new flavor avenues that didn't exist before.
Yeah.
Same with the peanut. You got a regular ass unroasted peanut. You just dug that up out of the ground. Now you got to cover it in red sugar to really make it center stage.
Yeah, they're just candy coated. All right, that's the show.
Yep.
Man, unlocking the secrets of the world right at the end of the show.
That's what we do. Thanks for listening to Street Fight Radio. We'll be back on Wednesday to yell at each other's faces without any sort of interruptions from listeners.
And
Thursday, we're doing the D&D show this Thursday. We're raising money for Mass, Ohio again. They provide safe injection supplies, food, comfort to people on the streets. They're totally about it. They're anarchists as fuck. They're not, a political organization that is doing nonprofit shit. They're on the ground. So we're raising money for Mass, Ohio. Next Thursday, we're gonna play D&D. Dave Davenport, my tattoo artist out in LA and longtime listener and big time artistic influence and creator for the Street Fight posters that you may have seen. He drew our D&D characters. Those are coming out. I shared some of them on Instagram, but he did an amazing job, and I'll be sharing more of those. So look forward to that. You can find us on social media. We're Street Fight WCRS on every single platform except for Twitch, where we're at twitch.tv/Street Fight Radio. We're getting bigger and better, spreading this mess across the U.S., and we're so blessed that all of you join us on this journey. And I hope you come back next week. We're Street Fight. Peace.